Hello, we're live. Me with Thomas Morgan, Tommy Skyview. How you doing, Tommy?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there, driving truck?
Yep. I see that the starship went up.
Yeah,
Well,
it went up.
halfway.
It just about blew itself up before it got off the pad, but that was insane. Just
Yeah,
here's
they were just trying to get it to go vertical. They were just trying to get it off
the tower.
the
Yeah, they wanted to clear the
yeah.
tower.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but either way, it's kind of strange that like all that work that they put into that starship and everything, and the starship didn't even get to uh, fire. It didn't do anything. It just took a ride.
The money. I'm like, wow, y'all put all
Yeah,
that money into building that just to
just to
watch it
shoot
explode.
arrows at God.
Yeah, it's terrible. Mm.
Okay, so the gospel of the kingdom of God. This is something that um, Tommy, you try to explain what we're going to be talking about because there's so many different awesome things to talk about.
Well, I see people preaching it, but they just don't know they're preaching it,
I see a lot of
which
people
is
preaching it.
yeah, which is good. I wish they knew what they were preaching, but I
And
guess
maybe
it's written that way.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Maybe it's supposed to be a certain way, but
Yep.
I know that this morning I was listening to the Mellow Dome. They do like a morning show, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
conversation, and they were just talking. And awesome Austin, I don't know if he still goes by that, but Austin from the Mellow Dome was describing something, and I think it. I just played it for Tommy, and I think should I just play that now, and then we can because
Yeah.
something that Austin said is like rings really true to this conversation about the gospel of the kingdom. So I made a little clip and it's going to be sideways on the screen, but it's
I think
mostly
you know.
just go ahead.
I think we talked about that too before that it was happening.
Yeah, yeah. I think it
Like the Earth didn't change.
yep. And yeah, when we're talking about we should probably give a little bit of context. Um Many of us used to live on a globe our whole lives, and then for it doesn't matter what reason, the fact is that many of us suddenly found something that makes much more sense to us that rings to be true, and we've found a lot of lies with believing in a globe. We like all of it's a part of a lie, and so this is just a fact that that's where we've found ourselves, right? Um,
Yep.
and and the topic that is interesting is that the scriptures have a city that a lot of the prophets and righteous people they searched for this city, like Abraham in Hebrews, which we'll go over. But this city at some point in time, this city, well, we know it comes down out of heaven from God, right?
Yep.
That's in Revelation. But um, that city, it doesn't come till like a certain time. And there, like, let me just read Second Esdras before we play Austin's thing. Let me just read Second Esdras 7 verse 26, and it'll give you kind of like an idea what I'm trying to. I'm horrible with my words, but it says he says, "Look, the time is coming when the signs appear that I told you about in advance, and the city will appear, appearing as a bride, and the land that is now hidden will be openly displayed." So the there's land that's hidden that at some point in time becomes openly displayed. That's what that's saying. And
Or
a city
revealed.
will, yeah, a city, yeah, and that's um, we could. Tommy's good at reminding me, and there's in Isaiah 40, which is already when we're talking about the shape of the earth and stuff. Isaiah 40 is already a super popular chapter uh, on this topic, but um, right at the beginning of Isaiah 40, it well, how about this? You remind me right after we play this video, we're going to go over that because that's the same thing. It's the shape of the earth being changed. This is in Isaiah 40 verses 3 through 5, where it describes the earth being changed from having hills and mountains and valleys to being flat, and to like crooked being made straight. And then it says, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed. So I think part of it has something to do with something being revealed for sure. And I think let's listen to Austin. How about that? I'm
Got
blanking.
you.
Okay, here we go.
Everything.
Well, to me, this is me. My whole life, have witnessed a horizontal horizon. Only, I'm talking about reality, not pictures, not what's being fed to me. In reality, my whole life, horizontal horizon.
Let's be
But-
honest. I'm sorry.
But I still believed I lived on a globe. My reality didn't change. My perception changed once.
Which changed your reality. Your reality. When you change your
Right.
perception.
But
your
what I
reality changed.
viewed didn't change. Because like when people say,
I did change.
The physical world
no,
didn't change, but
I'm
your
trying to explain
perception of
something here. Let me explain it for a second, okay? That horizon is flat, whether I thought I lived on a globe or not. That horizon didn't change shape. Only my perception of what it could be changed. This reality, like the physicality, never changed. You know.
I disagree.
Again, with the firmament, what I think to be true up there has changed just within the past couple of years. To me, it's probably nothing solid anymore. It's just the edge of this toroidal field that we possibly could be living in. But what I have been observing with my eyes, whether my perception, whether what I perceive it to be, hasn't changed. You know, so I'm not changing the physicality of my reality. I'm changing
your
the
theories are changing.
perception. The perception, what I perceive it to be, has changed.
That's a theory.
It doesn't mean I'm like manipulating. Like now, it like has changed physically for me.
But what
Like,
if it has? I want to suggest.
So, if you guys got what he was saying, so I'll try to sum it up a little bit. And Tommy, pipe in and help me if you can. But we lived on a globe with a flat horizon and flat water that wasn't rotating. But we lived on a globe that was rotating and all these weird, crazy movements, and we still live on that same ground that has that flat horizon and that flat water, and we can see it now. We perceive it now. But the actual earth itself, I don't think changed.
Our eyes have been opened.
Our eyes have been opened. Exactly. Like there's things that are hidden from mankind that only the God of creation can teach, because it's his secret. And actually, the Apostle Paul talked about this because he was actually shown something that I don't think anyone else was shown.
I think what it is, it's God's glory being declared.
Yep. And actually,
we're calling it flat Earth. That's just what the humans are calling it.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's God declaring His creation.
I heard Dean Odell on, who was he talking with? He was talking with someone recently. Oh, Vincent Rhodes.
Did they have their meetup yet?
Yeah, I think, or no, they didn't have their meetup, but they were just did like a podcast or like a live stream like this. And I liked how Dean Odell said it. He said, I like to call it biblical creation, because that's probably the most accurate modern way to say it.
He can see it's happening.
Yeah,
for sure. He knows it's written too. That part.
Yeah, yep. Biblical creation. Oh yeah, he actually made me aware of. It was in Enoch 93 when it talked about the eternal plant of righteousness or whatever, receiving sevenfold doctrine of the whole creation.
All right. 93:10.
Yeah, is that what that is? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm in Isaiah. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kick us off, and let's see. I think we should be able to have my screen. All right. You
Yep.
can see Isaiah, right? Okay, sweet. Because I hopefully we don't have any issues. If we do, if it gets slow or choppy, let us know, and I'll probably not screen share then. But should I just? Why don't you? Can you see the screen, or should I just read it?
I can read it off my phone here if you need me to.
And- Well, if it's hard for you to read it, I don't want you to like.
No, off my other phone. I got two phones. I got a Bible in front of me too.
Because if you guys, okay, before we read this,
What are
let
we
me
reading?
just-
Isaiah 40.
40 whatever verses, we could do just 4 and 5. But before we read it, I just want to remind everyone that the shape of the ground, whatever it is, we know that it has mountains. That's where it goes upward, the ground. And we have hills, same thing, it goes upward. And valleys, it goes down. So what I'm saying is this verse, after you hear it, it's literally talking about the literal shape of the earth. Like even like, what would you call that, topography or something? But I don't know if it means physically, it might mean something more like Austin was saying. Like he perceives it as something, he perceives the same place, but he perceives it as to be something else. But
It says it's revealed, so that's a big one there.
yeah, go ahead and read it if you want, if you can see it.
It says, in Ezekiel, I forget what chapter, it's 20 something. It talks about this same thing.
We'll look
that
it
these
up.
these people. It's comfort ye, my people, saith your God. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it.
So it wasn't Thomas saying it, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. It was the mouth of the Lord that spoke that.
No, I
But-
couldn't make that up.
No, but so it's saying every valley will be exalted. That means lifted. And I was actually going to hit. Let's just look at the Hebrew words just for. I've never regretted taking the short amount of time it takes to look at some of the words.
I just want to add that in Genesis that the dry land is the earth.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's. Yeah, definitely. So every valley. I mean, if we look at the word valley, I just want to say that these words have meaning. It's gay, apparently. It's a valley. That's just how you say it, I guess. So it says, or shortened gay, probably by transmutation from the same root as a gorge, from its lofty sides, hence narrow, but not a gully or winter torrent, a valley.
Seen some of those yesterday,
Right.
driving through North Carolina.
I bet.
Oh yeah, it's
North
beautiful over there.
So
Right
this
there
is a
on
land
77.
feature.
Yeah.
This is a land feature. So that's why. Sorry, I'm getting off to the side here. So it's exalted, shall be exalted. This means to be lifted, I think.
Lifted.
Or
Yep.
be raised up, to lift,
NASA.
carry, take. Oh yeah, that's
See
right.
that? You see that word? NASA.
Yeah, look at that, NASA right there. NASA.
To lift.
To lift, carry, or take.
Shout.
Wow.
To lift a shout up against God. There you go. I said it.
Yeah, let's see what Strong says. extents, arise, able to, armor, suffer, to,
Hmm.
bearer, up, bring forth. Wow, that's
Arise,
got a lot.
arise, devour
Help
much flesh.
high. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
So there was one more word I wanted to look up in here was straight. Okay, because that's where the word plain, where that's where the KJV put in plain, I think. Right? A level
Yep.
place,
Level.
uprightness. And people say the Bible doesn't say the earth is flat. Come on. It certainly does. They'll say,
Does it
oh,
everywhere.
level doesn't mean flat.
Oh God.
Even place, plain, righteously made straight, uprightness. A level,
When the
a plain, as
when the prophets would
figuratively. Oh,
when the
sorry. Go
prophets
ahead.
would describe where they're at, or like we went out on the plain, or all the time they would do that.
Yeah,
Ezekiel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. We went up on the flat earth. That's in Revelation. Like we went up on the breadth of the earth,
The breadth of the earth. Yep.
or they went up. Yeah, I think it says they. So, let's look at this city that we're talking about. Okay, the gospel of the kingdom. First of all, this is the gospel that Jesus preached in the synagogues when he lived on the earth 2,000 years ago. So I don't know, like what other gospel is there?
Makes me wonder why he was such under attack.
Salvation. Well, let's talk about salvation, because since we were just in looking at Isaiah 40 there, this gets quoted again later in the Bible by John the Baptist. He quotes these words of Isaiah, and I think it's in Luke chapter 5 or 3. Let's look at it, because it mentions salvation. You know, this said, "And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together." So I was like,
John says it. He says it in the book of John. He says, "Make straight the way of the Lord."
"Oh yeah, yeah,
Yep.
make straight in the desert, or a highway for God, or something." Okay, so oops. So we already read about a land that was that is now hidden being openly displayed, like a land. That's pretty specific. Okay, we're talking about what's land. It's the ground, right?
Ground.
In a
Yeah.
certain place or something. I just got to hit the KJV here. Okay, I'll read this one. Luke 3. Did I say that right? Oh yeah, here it is. As it is written in the book of the words of Isaiah the prophet, saying, "The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God." Makes me think of 1 Peter.
1 Peter. Yep.
We're just gonna stick on this kind of. Let's just learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If we just look at some of these verses that talk about salvation and stuff, we find out that it's something that all these followers of God that are even in the Bible, they were all searching for this. They were seeking this salvation, but they may have not gotten it during their lifetime. Like what I'm saying is it says here, I'll just read verse 4 in 1 Peter 1. It says, "To an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time." And I think it even says, yeah, right here, look at this. This is actually important, I think, because I don't really know what salvation necessarily even is, but it's something. I mean, what we just read in Luke 3, it sounds like it has something to do with this land, this hidden land being revealed. But it says down here in verse 10, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what or in what manner of time the Spirit of Christ which was in them did signify when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Christ and the glory that should follow.
The glory.
Yeah, and then it talks, look at what it says here, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Ghost sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into.
The
To me,
Holy
that-
Ghost
yeah.
sent down from heaven. That's
Yeah.
that's the Comforter in Revelation.
Yeah, and it's the Spirit of truth in
Spirit of truth.
the book of John.
Yep.
Who will guide you into all truth. I know a lot of people can understand this. A lot of people that are, like we're talking about, like what, I'm getting that weird sound now. Maybe if I turn my mic down a little, maybe my mic's loud. It's not that bad though, I don't think. So this, I think this is so important to realize, like what Austin was saying, the world itself may not have changed. It's actually just his perception of it, or our we can see something. Okay, let me read something in Revelation 21. John, he saw a vision of the end, right? It was a vision that Jesus showed up in the vision even. But so John says in Revelation 21 verse 1, he says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So this is when it says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. What was I just reading about the former things? Where was that?
That's in Isaiah.
Oh, yeah. His creation. But this was somewhere else that I, this was just before I think you linked up. Oh, maybe it was on my phone. I think I was on my phone and I was looking at something. Yeah.
Now, when he sees that new heaven and new earth, there was no more sea. That's a big one there.
Yeah. Like we could use these guys. Whoops.
I think that's the waters above.
I do too. And we could use these guys for a, all four of these guys that are talking, just so you know, none of them live on a globe.
No, they're all creationists.
And none of them believe in space.
Yep.
There was no more sea. That makes sense to me.
For sure.
Space is fake. Like, because
Space is fake.
Because like in Revelation, this book, the beast that comes up from the sea or rises up from the sea, that's the waters above. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check my audio, see if anything's like...
I checked mine before we started. It was still where it needed to be.
Yeah, and it's
Are
weird
you getting
because...
it?
Yeah, I'm
You're getting
it, but
feedback?
yeah, it wasn't doing it before. Let me try something. Does that change it? Nope. Sorry, I'm just trying something real quick here.
You're good.
Does that change it?
It's probably on my end.
What about that? Oh, it's still
I do
doing it.
notice when I watch the videos back, like I'm way louder than you are for some weird reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's StreamYard, man. I wonder if Well, I suppose if you had your volume on your phone as low as you could have it, but I don't know if that even changes anything. Like as low as you could have it and still hear me, you know.
I'm running my headphones with the noise cancellation. So,
Okay. Well,
and these are those very expensive ones, like
it seems like
$10.
oh yeah. It seems like it goes on and off though. It's kind of weird.
I can mute,
Um,
man. You just let me
well,
know when you want me to chime in.
I want you to chime in right now all the time. You chime in first. I'm just kidding. Well, like, what do you, what, just kind of openly speak.
Layman's terms.
Yeah, you're better at explaining some of that stuff than I am.
I think the deception that those planets and Satan and his angels have led us down that road. Like the whole world's fallen away. They're apostate. They don't believe God's in heaven at all. I think God's declaring his creation to get people out of those dark waters above, because it's fixing to be destroyed. Yeah.
And it's like a negative, it's darkness.
It's Babylon. It's like taking the souls of men. It's going to destroy everything, except for
break the world into pieces.
Yep, except for God and his people. Everything else is going to be wiped away. It's going to start over new. But in a way, that's already happening. I think when the Spirit of truth comes, it happens spiritually before the destruction, before the day of the Lord. Like things are revealed. I think that's the time we're in right now.
I agree. Because like in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, it does say that he was flying among the clouds of heaven, and he was uttering his voice, and those who heard his voice melted like wax melts by a fire or whatever.
It says that a lot, like before he comes, and like the flame kindled before him. I take that as like before the Lord's coming, like the flames in front of him or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like the destruction's being revealed.
Yeah, and you know who does that? Now that I think about that, the Spirit of truth, or remember it says
the Comforter.
The Comforter. He will reprove the world of sin. And then where were we? We were reading somewhere where it said that he would do that while they were still alive. He would judge them in their wickedness while they were still alive. That's in
I know what you're talking about.
Isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah. Well, the saints judge the world.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it's when, like in Jude or in Enoch, when it says he comes with 10,000 of his holy ones or something like that.
The way I see that is God gives over the information. He gives the judgment to them. It's coming from God, of course.
Yeah.
And Jesus.
Yep.
But they're sent into the world to declare these things. I was trying to explain that to my cousin a couple weeks ago. I was like, if God's gonna speak his voice, is he gonna like, you're gonna hear something from heaven like that, or is it gonna be like he's gonna give the information to people just like he did his prophets, and they're gonna declare it? Because that's the way I'm kind of seeing it.
That's what I'm seeing, is that people would do it. It'd have to be people. How else? Like an angel, if an angel comes and preaches, like in Revelation 14, I think, an angel comes and preaches the everlasting gospel.
All right.
Well, how's that going to get spread around? Is everyone going to be listening to that angel, or is it the angel's going to tell someone and it'll spread around between people? I think that's why it says about they gave their testimony or whatever.
Is that why? Where does it say I think it's the Spirit of the Comforter comes and he speaks what he hears or something like that? How's it say that?
Yeah, that's John 16.
Yeah.
We'll go there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put my page back up. Let's see, what is it? This? Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, it's John 15 and 16 and something. It's like
there's a lot going on there. Yeah,
there is. Whoops.
There's some good chapters.
Oh, and you wanted to look something up in Ezekiel too, didn't you?
You have to find that, because that actually goes with Isaiah 40. I was watching a video about the 144,000 a long time ago. Okay. It literally brung me to tears, Joe, the way he said it. and it talks about those people, that how they have the power to deliver. Okay, like Noah, was it Noah, Daniel, and Job? They didn't have the power to deliver even their family. But in the end, when the before the great white throne judgment, the people that are they're sent to deliver and declare the former things, they have the power to deliver. That's why John's he's seen the 144,000, and then he's seen a multitude being gathered.
Yeah, it was like
'Cause
more than the 100. Yeah,
Yep.
he saw them being sealed in their foreheads or whatever. But then right away he goes then he said, and I saw an innumerable multitude or something.
I
So it
still
sounds
see
like
that happening.
oh, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like this. When his disciples asked him what would happen, or what did they say? They came to him, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And so he was saying all these things for this chapter, but he says in verse 14, he says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Hmm.
So there is going to be, like, it sounds like in Revelation 14, maybe it's called the everlasting gospel.
Yeah.
And it even says, like, it even sounds like biblical creation to me, or flat earth, or whatever you want to call it. Because, oh, I just lost my train of thought. This gospel of the kingdom. Oh, the everlasting gospel, because he says, I'm going to look it up real quick.
That's the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but yes, definitely the the
Mhm.
kingdom of God or whatever.
Where God's
But
at. Yep.
yep, but it says here this other angel, okay, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. That sounds exactly like what Jesus said here.
Now
Shall be
remember,
preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
go back to where you were just at.
Yep.
Okay, it's because I'm reading it off the phone. Judgment. Where does it say that at? The people,
Oh,
every people, nation, and tongue. Look there.
where,
I can't really see the verse number right
okay,
there before.
I'm looking. Oh, is it
Every nation and kindred and tongue and
and
people.
people?
Now remember
Yeah.
what the many waters were.
Oh, yeah,
They
they were
were people, nation, and tongues.
Oh, yeah. The sound of many waters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that makes sense. They are preaching the gospel.
Yep.
They're preaching the gospel of the kingdom in the world.
And it has to do with those waters.
And look what it says. Like when the angel said that, the one that's preaching the everlasting gospel, look what he says. Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. That's a pretty simple gospel right there.
Yep.
To give God glory for his creation.
That's what they're doing when they're declaring the firmament. That there's a firmament over us, and God's in heaven. Space is fake.
And so here's how I see the grace of God, or grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. So first truth, I think, came, and his grace is the whole time, because look what it says here. It says, for the hour of his judgment is come. So what would grace be if the hour of judgment was coming and everyone's gonna pay for whatever they did or whatever, something like that sounding. The hour of his judgment is come. That means it's over, and I'm going to give you this truth in this gospel because I can save you from this judgment that's coming.
It's like a hall pass.
It is. It's grace.
You're fixing to go to detention for what you're doing. You're gonna get in trouble for what you're doing or involved in, and he's gonna give you a free pass to either accept it or deny it.
And it's funny that you bring that analogy, because what is a teacher going to do? A teacher will show a student grace if the student says, I know that I was
Messed up.
Yeah, I didn't do it right. And
Yep.
so if they it's so it's like a matter of like the direction that your heart is willing to go. If you've been proven wrong about something, or if you've been, that's what repentance is. It's like when you find out something's wrong, you turn and do something else. You like
Right.
you turn the other way to what you found out was right. That's what
Where does it say
repentance is.
that? I think that's in First Peter 2. The prophets were searching for that grace.
Yeah, it says
We
they
just read
searched
that.
diligently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, that, yeah, it said for the salvation they were searched diligently. We better go back there.
Something
Actually,
about the grace that'll be brung unto you, which the prophets searched for diligently, or something like that.
yeah, for the grace that shall come unto you. Like they,
Yep.
it's made it sound like it was at the end though. You
Man,
know what?
it
I got my
sounds like,
Bible here too.
and
I just don't want to.
it sounds like they were there for some weird reason. I don't know why. It just sounds like they are there in the end.
It says, where is that? What verse is it? First Peter. Of which salvation? Okay, verse 10. Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently,
There you go.
who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you.
There you go.
That's
That's the
pretty
one I was
cool.
looking for. Yeah.
So that I think is something, the grace of God, it makes a lot of sense to me. We were taking part in an evil belief, we believed something evil. We didn't even
Read-
believe in God's throne.
Read that 7 right there. That the trial of your faith being much more precious than gold that perish. Remember, he said, buy it in Revelation. Buy the gold that
Tried in
we
the fire.
tried
Yeah.
in the fire.
Yeah, he
Through it-
offers
This
to
is
sell.
the same
Yeah.
thing. It says, though it be tried with fire, it's the same thing. Might
Yep.
be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ.
And
I think
like,
Jesus is here in a way, y'all.
I do too.
I do.
There's a lot of places that talk about hearing his voice and
Mhm.
seeing his kingdom.
Before it comes.
And what does it say? You have to be born again to
see.
see the kingdom, to see the kingdom of God.
Man, Joe, right there, what you just said right there, that's what makes me worry. I see people seeing the kingdom of God, don't get me wrong. Like Sean and West Blaze, they all
I
know
think
it's
a
up
lot
there.
of people are.
I just
think-
don't know why they can't see that that's happening.
But does it like maybe?
Does it
I
matter?
think that. Well, no.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people don't talk about it, but I think that a lot of people are well aware that none of us can describe exactly what's happening. Nobody
For
can.
sure. No.
But like I don't know why my mind's going to DITRH. Like
Earth.
he goes his direction and he does all these interviews and stuff like that, and he doesn't he chooses not to like lead his subject matter with scripture or something.
The scripture, yeah.
Yeah, but look what he does.
I think Bobby's kind of there right now. He's kind of afraid to talk about.
Yeah, but
I hate to say this. I hate to say it.
I'm glad Bobby's back.
Oh, for sure.
And
Did you hear the guy? Did you hear the guy yesterday? He was like, he didn't deny Jesus. The guy he had on
No.
there, Mike.
Not
But-
Chiquita or whatever.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, I love that conversation. That was a good conversation.
Oh, for sure. He said exactly what Jesus said about the wheat and the tare being
Yep.
separated.
And I think he's right. He's right
I
too.
put that in the comment. He was.
He's
I was
like,
like,
there's
Jesus
only-
said that.
There's only some people that won't see it, and there's some people that will see it, and it's not
Yep.
up to us, but it is up to us to let them know what we
For sure.
what we believe or whatever. But other than that, it is something that a person, like Austin was saying in his video,
Right.
he perceived it to be something else his whole life. But even though that horizon was flat, to him, it made sense that it was a globe or whatever. But now he looks at it and says, "Oh, I don't look at what this world is now, because it's like a different thing." And so
New heaven, new earth.
yeah, You see a
Yep.
new heaven. Oh, that just reminded me of Enoch 45. It says that God's going to transform the heaven and make it a blessing, and he's going to transform the earth.
Good one there.
Oh, this one, you guys, this one. Okay, you know,
I'll let you read it.
Somewhere in Ezekiel, it talks about, or the Lord says he's going to take them from among the heathen and place them in their own land. So we're talking about land again, the promised land. It was an inheritance that was promised. And so I think the people that are seeking that inheritance, it's not like they're seeking it for the inheritance, but that land, they can possess that land if they seek it. So, like, I don't know how it works as far as the kingdom coming down out of heaven like that. I mean, we could look at that a couple different ways, and it might be both ways. It might be coming down as a gospel with the Holy Ghost. I mean, I was thinking about it today. I'll bet you that there's very possibly maybe a billion. I'll say, I'm not going to say flat earthers, but I'll say a billion people that don't live on a globe anymore. They think it's very likely not where they live.
I agree.
They may not know exactly, but there's things that we've learned, and that would be like 1 out of 8 people. And when I'm going around in town and stuff, I'm pretty vocal about it. Like just the other day, I was going through the Menards guardhouse or whatever for the lumberyard, and there was 2 people in there, and they checked my stuff, and then I always get them guys, but all I say is, have you guys heard about the flat Earth yet? And they're like, it's flat, bro. Both of them said that it's flat, bro. And to hear that, I'm like, it just makes you think about it a little bit different. This world has changed so greatly in the last how many years?
For
7
sure.
years or whatever.
I was
It's the
at
truth.
Love's. I had to get a couple tires changed on a trailer. I was there like, you ain't even gonna believe, like 7.5 hours to get 2 tires changed. It was crazy. But
Oh wow, why does it take so long?
oh my God, they're just lazy.
Well,
people.
I suppose it depends on if they got like a huge shop with all this special
Nah, there
equipment.
wasn't nobody there. There's just they were
Some
just
dude in the
taking
back jumping
Yeah.
on the tire to get it off.
Oh my God. But I went in there and did laundry, and there was the black lady, the older lady, she's probably in her 50s, at the counter, and she was like, oh Lord, just saying the Lord a lot. So I had to say it. I was like, yeah, I'm what they call a flat earther. Have you heard about that? And she's like, no. I was like, yeah, there's like millions of people, they don't believe they live on a globe anymore. I was like, did you know it's in the Bible that would happen in the last days? I gave her Isaiah 40 and Luke 3 and First
Awesome.
Peter. And then I gave her your channel. I was like, do you watch YouTube? Then I started talking about NASA. I was like, you know what NASA's doing, right? She's like, I always thought about that. I wonder why they go up there like that. I was like, yeah, that's all in the Bible too. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, you watch YouTube? And she's like, oh yeah, I watch YouTube all the time. I was like, here, get a pen and paper. I'm gonna write this channel down for you. Here you go.
Yeah.
Have to do it.
So like if the kingdom, like John saw a structure come down too. Like when, let's see, in the Revelation, I'm sorry, a new heaven and a new earth, the new Jerusalem. Okay, so it's almost like, you could look at this a couple different ways. When he saw a new heaven and a new earth, he saw it. It doesn't mean that the earth even changed, right? It says, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. We could ask Melodome if that statement is true. As the first heaven and first earth passed away?
It sounds like it.
There's a new heaven and a new earth now?
It sounds exactly what he said, in a way.
And how does Austin perceive it? He sees it.
Mm-hmm.
He literally sees it. Same thing, like Austin's just doing the same thing that John is doing right here. And then, so it says, and I, John, saw the, not Austin, I guess it's John. I'm just kidding. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And so that's, look at verse 5. And he that sat on the throne said, behold, I make all things new. Now check this out.
It's a big one.
Enoch. You know what? Why don't you read? Can you see the screen, or is it too small?
I got Enoch. Which one you want to read? I always carry my books with me.
Awesome. Let's do 45 verses 4 through 6.
The new heaven and the new earth. Yep. The lot of the apostates.
Oh yeah, maybe read verse 1 too.
I'll read the whole thing. It ain't that long.
I would love it.
Chapter 45. It says, and this is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. And into the heaven they shall not ascend, and on the earth they shall not come. Such shall be the lot of the sinners who have denied the name of the Lord of spirits, who are thus preserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. On that day mine elect ones shall sit on the throne of glory, and shall trial their works, and their places of rest shall be innumerable, and their souls shall grow strong within them when they see mine elect ones and those who have called upon my glorious name. Then will I cause mine elect one to dwell among them, and I will transform the heaven and make it an eternal blessing and light, and I will transform the earth and make it a blessing, and I will cause mine elect ones to dwell upon it. But the sinners and evildoers shall not set foot therein, for I have provided and satisfied with peace my righteous ones, and have caused them to dwell before me. But for the sinners there is judgment appending with me, so that I will destroy them from the face of the earth. That right there, let's see, right here, where was it at? Right here. And I will transform the heaven and make it an eternal blessing and light. So to me, that's like, oh, God's in heaven. New Jerusalem's up there. No, space is not up there. That's all fake. There's no more darkness. It's light. That's what I think when I hear that.
Verse 1 says, yeah, that sound is awful now. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to change my mic.
I'm going to check my settings. I could try to go back over.
It goes on and off on its own. Like when we started, it wasn't doing it at all. Wonder if I remove myself from the stream and then go back in just to see.
I just turned off my echo cancellation to see what that does.
I think it fixed it.
It's weird, Joe, because sometimes I'll have it on, it works fine for a minute, and it starts doing it again. I turn it off, and it goes. I don't know why it's doing that.
So now we know that when it starts getting too bad, we can just
flip it back on.
Yeah, do something like that. I don't know. That's awesome that it's gone though, because it does get kind of. I don't know if you guys can hear that like I can, but I can hear it pretty loud. Anyway,
bugs out.
So this parable though is. Look what it says here. This, to me, really spoke to me. Those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. So, heaven.
Yep.
The name of the dwelling of God and the angels.
Jerusalem.
That's heaven. Yeah.
Mount Zion.
Jerusalem. Yeah, exactly. New Jerusalem. Yep. The temple of God, his sanctuary, his tabernacle, the holy city, Mount Zion.
I think Jesus just called it Jerusalem. Like John called it New Jerusalem. Because he saw it coming down. He never seen it. Well, maybe he's seen it before, but
you know what? Jesus. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Jesus. Let's read it in Revelation 3. He said he actually called it New Jerusalem.
Did he?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, right here it says this is.
I just want to say something about that because they're going to destroy the sanctuary, right?
Or they're going to tread it underfoot, right?
I mean, the way I see it, I'm not saying like they're going to destroy where God's at, kill God, nothing like that, but.
Oh, but yeah, 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 I know what you're saying.
Doesn't it burn? Doesn't it burn with friggin' heat? Like it's, and then
Yeah,
Jesus makes it new.
yeah, that just makes me wonder. It makes me think.
So
But
that's what I'm thinking. He was seeing like the new Jerusalem coming after the destruction.
and
I don't know. I don't know how to
may
explain that.
no, that maybe makes sense with this too. It says, "Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name."
It's a beautiful chapter.
Yeah,
That whole book.
yeah. This is one of my favorite. You already brought this verse up, but this is one of my favorite verses in all of Scripture, because I really
Oh, I know
actually
it is.
I actually really feel like these few
Happened
verses
to you.
might have just saved my soul, like back a few years back. Like,
Mine too.
it says, "I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me." It's true. Any man.
For sure.
Because I'm not anything special. I'm just any man. I'm
Me
any
neither.
man. I'm
If you
any
ask
man. You
me,
call me any man.
if you ask me, I'm a dumb ass. Sorry,
Yeah, well,
I don't know nothing.
and that's the truth. I'm not saying that, but like
Oh, thanks, Joe.
the truth of it is that it seems like when when Jesus said he came for the what did he say, the sick or something, not for people that are all healthy, or I don't remember how he worded it though. Do you get what I'm?
To give the blind eyes to see and the deaf
Yeah,
ears to hear. Yep.
the ones that had infirmities.
I think that's spiritually too.
And I think that's like that's where I feel like I have been, is
Mhm.
like in not doing the right thing, and not like, I don't know how to say it
Not
exactly.
not focused on God,
Yeah.
not unbelieving. I hate to say that.
No, it is
It's
yeah,
scary.
unbelieving.
It's scary because you got millions of Christians all over the world, especially here in America, and I
And
see
I
them.
have my hope, and we've talked about this before. I have my hope that
They're gonna have a way.
you don't have to know all these things to believe all these things. If that makes sense. You don't
Yeah.
have to you don't have to study out
What if?
Foucault's pendulum or something to know
No.
that the like all that. I'm just saying all of that is like, it helps people think about it, certain people or whatever. But what I'm saying is I think that like maybe that lady that you met, that you were just talking about, that you were told her some verses and stuff. Like, what
Mhm.
I'm saying is maybe there's people that don't need to know much at all. They don't need to know anything anything to believe in. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how
For
to try
sure.
to.
Maybe you're saying is they love the Lord. They probably always have, and
Yeah.
they're not concerned about there's no involvement in like what NASA does and defiling God's sanctuary and the shape. They don't even concern with that. It just, I love the Lord, and that's all I worry about. I depend on the Lord.
Yeah, it was
I
somewhere
understand
in
what you're saying.
Revelation 2. It was
What
somewhere
I'm
in
saying
Revelation
is,
2.
yeah, you're talking about your dad. We were talking about your dad that time about that. How
Yeah, and
they
it's like that he might not take a stance like I take or something, but he's definitely not like he's not on
involved
the
in it.
other side. He's
Yeah.
like, the other side is a joke to him, you know?
What I'm saying though is the people that they go to church today, and I think in their heart they want to love the Lord, but they're so far from the truth. It's like, and then if you try to talk to them, they're leave me alone. No, none of that matters. I'm
Well,
gonna tell
if
you
they're
right.
saying that, then
I'm gonna
that's
tell you right
probably
now, man. My
that's a
mother-in-law,
decision they're making.
Joe, my mother-in-law, we had a conversation last night on the phone,
Oh yeah.
and it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna have this conversation with you She's
because
like, well,
it's
you don't
not
know God.
productive.
She's like, you don't
Oh
know
boy.
God. Look at the stupid stuff you talk about. That's not nothing to do with God.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
Probably
wow,
tell.
okay.
Yeah. Let me guess. She tells you that you twist the scriptures too. I'm sure. But
No, she just more of none of that matters. I don't even know why you talk about that.
and you know what? Some people they've
Yeah.
got that attitude. But I just
Hmm.
remember this. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a
All the
witness
world.
unto all nations. So
Yeah.
to me, that says everyone's going to hear about this kingdom, and they're going to.
Hmm.
A lot of people already believe in it. Do you know what I'm saying? And even if they don't understand all this stuff we've been talking about for the last 7 years, I'm just hoping that I have an idea. It was in Revelation 2 that we were reading it, where it was like hold fast to yeah, right here, I think. Or no, that ain't it. Do you know what part I'm talking about? Like
You were talking about where
the
they
deeds of
the
Satan they didn't know.
yeah, the church. It was a church, and they,
Yeah.
which one was it? And they did not partake in it. They how to say it?
It said hold fast to the things that you knew or something like that. There that you do know
I
and
think you're talking about where they were. They didn't partake in it. Like, they didn't concern them. They didn't. So God didn't hold anything against them. I'm trying to think of
oh
it. Let me
here it
see if I
is.
can find it.
Maybe is it I know thy works
I'm
and
not
where
saying
thou
it right.
dwellest, even where Satan's seat is and thou
No,
holdest
that's
fast. That's not the right
that's
one.
that's where the ISS is. Sorry,
Yeah. Um
I hate to say that, but
was it Philadelphia? Maybe I'm in
it
the
was
wrong
one of the
chapter.
churches. It was one of the churches, and they, let's see, letter to the churches right here. I think it's before the churches.
Oh, here it is. It's Thyatira. It's down in verse 25 or so, 26, something like that.
What chapter? One.
Chapter 2, verse 24 says, "But unto you I say, and unto the
Yep.
rest in Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan, as
There
they
you go.
speak, I will put upon you none other burden,
There you
but
go.
that which ye have already hold fast till I come." So, like, I'm just looking at this.
I think you're right about that.
We live in a deceptive world, man.
Hmm.
And there's there in Revelation, like I don't really know exactly everything that's happening, but this new song that's being sung, and only certain people were able to learn that song. But I do believe, like, let me go open Romans. Let's look at Romans 16 because
Hmm.
it gives a better wording than I can actually give it. Paul wrote about this gospel that he called his gospel.
The
Which
mystery.
makes sense to me. It does. It makes sense to me. We've had a mystery revealed to us, but it
Hmm.
says Romans 16 verse 25 says, "Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith." So, we keep seeing all nations all over the place. This gospel is going to be
Hmm.
preached to all nations. But it says, so it's a commandment that it's made known to all the nations for them to believe in. That's what it says to. That's what it feels like it says to me. For the
Me too.
obedience of faith. It's like I don't know if that. Let's look at that.
If it's given to you, and you see it, you're supposed to make it known. Tell others. I wonder if
Okay,
that
yeah.
I wonder if that mystery is anything to do with Revelation 1:20 here. It says, let's say right here, the mystery of the seven stars which thou sawest in my right hand. Huh. That makes me think of the planets.
Aren't
I
those
don't
the
know
seven
why.
churches or something? I can't remember.
It says the
Right at the
seven
end of that
stars
chapter,
which,
it says what they are.
and the seven golden candlesticks. The seven stars are the angels of the seven churches. I wonder if those are the synagogues of Satan. And the seven can't, because I used to think the synagogues of Satan were like, I don't know, these big time preachers that would, You know who I'm talking about. Everybody does. The mainstream preachers.
Yeah, they could be. I don't know. I really don't know.
No, I think the 7.
Oh
I
yeah,
really
that
think this.
Carol in the chat. It's towards the end of that chapter. It's the last verse in that chapter or something, but it says 7 stars are the 7 churches. I think.
But I'm thinking
it's-
this is talking
like-
about the churches of Satan, the synagogues of Satan. I
It
don't know.
could
Maybe
be,
I'm wrong.
not sure. So, look at it. It says unto obedience of faith. What is this word here of faith? Pistis. Faith.
How's the sound working on
faithfulness,
your end?
Belief. Perfect. I hear no
Okay.
echo.
Okay.
Faith, belief, trust, confidence, fidelity, faithfulness. So I'm pretty sure that's the same word that when it's let's look at KJV.
I like that
Hebrews
trust.
11 where it says now
11:1.
faith is the trust, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for my computer to warm up here. It's thinking.
They put some diesel in it, man.
Sometimes I
Turn
press
it
the
low.
button and like maybe my mouse isn't very good. Yeah, I might not have pressed the button. I don't know what I did. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Sight can't be reached. It'll come around. Don't worry. Reload it. I don't know why it's doing that.
The things
If I
not
get
seen.
kicked off, I'll be back on.
What did Jesus say?
Yeah, the
Blessed is
things
your
not seen.
blessed is he who believes without seeing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he said that to
Thomas.
yeah, he said that to Thomas, yeah. Thomas. I'm just kidding.
My mom did name me after. Well, my dad was named after him.
Oh, cool.
My mom named
So
all
we're
of
just-
her kids after someone in the Bible. She told me that.
We'll maybe look at Hebrews 11 later. It didn't want to
My
do it
brother
right
is
now.
Jacob. That's weird.
So, the Spirit of Truth testifies of Jesus.
Yep. He's the spirit of prophecy.
And then it says, and you also shall bear witness because you've been with me from the beginning.
That's crazy
What
there.
what does that mean?
You ain't lying. Still trying to figure that out.
So then the next chapter, I opened this up earlier, so I wanted to look at it a little bit.
It's a good chapter.
So remember how what you were reading in Enoch, the holy one or the elect one would
Yep.
what did it say? Judge them, or what? What's the word it used? It said, "On that day, mine elect one shall sit on the throne of glory and shall try their works."
Trial their worship.
Okay, so this is like right before it says he's going to transform the heaven and earth. But so he's going to try their works, and that's what we can read about that in John 16 right here. So it says, where is it? In verse 8 or something? Yeah.
Just goes to prove that Enoch's true.
Oh yeah, Enoch is. It's like all the prophets in the Bible seem to have read the book of Enoch because
For sure.
It's like all of them pull something out of that book. It seems like even Jesus.
Yep.
He rebuked the Sadducees for not knowing the scriptures, and then he continues on by correcting them with Enoch chapter 15.
Amen.
He says exactly what God told Enoch in chapter 15 about
Enoch is a true
marriage.
blessing. Enoch is a
Marriage
true
for
blessing.
angels. Yep. For
True
the
blessing.
elect and righteous in the day of tribulation. That's what the book of Enoch says.
Yep.
It's a how does it word it? Anyway. So here's what he's talking about when he sends the comforter. It says verse 7 in John 16. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away, for if I go not away, the comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, which he did, by the way, I will send him unto you, and when he is come, remember he said he will try their works? Look at this. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. We keep seeing these judgment words, and See, this is why I think there's grace available to anyone who believes the truth.
Hmm.
But it says of sin because they believe not on me. So when like that tells me that, and maybe this is a weird way to look at it, but that kind of says to me that when at the time when he sends the comforter, people don't believe in him. So he's sending the comforter so they believe in him. That's what it seems like. Because they believe not on me, of righteousness because I go to my Father and you see me no more, of judgment
Maybe-
because the prince of this world is judged.
Maybe that's why Enoch said they during that time was they were apostate, that no one believed that it was during the apostate generation.
That's what apostate means, isn't it? Where they've fallen away.
Fell away. Yep.
So then he says, I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak. And he will show you things to come. He shall glorify me, for he shall receive of mine, and shall show it unto you. All things that the Father hath are mine, therefore said I, that he shall take of mine, and shall show it unto you. You know what? I'll bet you if we asked Austin from Melodome if someone showed him how to see the truth, he would say yes. Isn't that interesting? Like, I'm just saying that I would say yes myself. My eyes have been opened.
Even if they deny, check this out. Even if they deny that what they've been shown didn't come from the scripture, from God, of the Bible, and there's many doing this. Even if they do deny that, that doesn't change the fact that that's where it came from.
Yep.
Because it's written that would happen. So whether they accept it or not, you can clearly see that's what's happening.
And also,
I know I can.
Maybe I'm in the wrong chapter. Am I?
That's why, Joe, I used to kind of fight with these people. I'd get discouraged and I would kind of argue with them, and you get kicked off the chat, whatever. I don't do that anymore because I'm just like, I see what's happening, so I just let it ride, let them do what they're doing.
And it's almost where you can look at it. Like, I think we can all do this. We can look at it and say, like, we can be content with the whole situation by realizing that every one of us is playing whatever part that was written in.
Yep.
It's happening. And it's actually very interesting. I'm saying we can be content because it is like in the book of Daniel, when he saw the Son of Man bringing this kingdom or receiving this kingdom that lasted forever. It was eternal. And the saints that were with him lived, they had this eternal kingdom. They possessed this kingdom. They took it away from Satan, Satan who had taken it with sin, through sin.
Transgression.
Yeah. And I mean, if we think about things like the space station, that comes into it right there.
I think it's exactly
the throne of God or the throne of space? Satan's throne.
Satan's seat. Yeah. Do you believe in the kingdom of heaven, or do you believe in Satan's seat?
Yep. Because remember in Enoch 2, it was saying that parable was about those who denied the name of heaven. They denied heaven. So, like, where's heaven? Well, God's throne is at the very top of heaven. It's the most
The scripture, the one we just read in Revelation, it said, even those who dwell where Satan's seat is. Right there.
Oh, yeah, that was in Revelation 2, wasn't it? Yeah. Yep. Where Satan's seat, yeah. I do like, I think really you said it. You kind of helped me understand that Thyatira thing. And that was like kind of special to me to grasp it that way. And I'm hoping on that. You know what I'm hoping that I got the right idea about that.
If we don't, things change. We learn, and what we thought we knew, we didn't know, and
and we look back. I remember. And go, why would I think that?
Yeah, I remember the Isaiah 14:9. That day you said it, I was driving. He was like, "Look what Isaiah 14:9 says. It says hell from beneath this moon." I was like, "What does that say?" Because I was like, "There's no way that says that." Today,
It literally
I'm
says
still shocked.
hell is moved from beneath.
It's crazy.
And that's one thing. That's one thing that you talk about being able to see something, and you're watching people like fall into a trap or something, but then you
Yeah.
realize, sorry guys, my internet just is not, something's not working right here. I'm just gonna give up on a couple of these.
Got too many tabs open, probably.
Yeah, I do want to read. I think it's chapter 4 here. The heavenly Jerusalem. Okay, this is in the Apocalypse of Baruch, the book of the Apocalypse of Baruch.
Is that like regular Baruch, or is that?
I
Never
think it's
heard that
second
one.
Baruch. Yeah,
Okay,
it's second Baruch.
Okay, second Baruch.
So I don't know. I don't know anything about.
I know the Apocalypse of Abraham and the Apocalypse of Paul. I never heard that one called the Apocalypse of Baruch. It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't either. It says it here though. But if you
Yeah.
guys want to understand the origin of some of these books a lot better, go to Kingdom in Context.
For sure. Yeah.
They actually do a show called, what was it called? Honor of Kings, and they actually specifically kind of look through certain apocrypha and things, and I don't agree with them on everything, but what I'm saying is, if you want to know about the Dead Sea Scrolls or something like that, Sean has
And if
probably a ton of content for you.
and if you're looking for those books dramatized all on one channel, all the books, I would suggest Sons of Jacob's Ministries.
Yeah, I like that one. That's
Yeah,
good.
one of my favorites.
So it says announcement of the coming destruction of Jerusalem to Baruch. So this is the coming destruction.
And I think that's Jerusalem in heaven.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Should we read it? Actually, we know
Read.
it's in heaven because God's going to explain it to him. I'll just read this for a little bit.
Read some of it, man. I'm gonna pause or
Okay.
mute.
No, you better pause. No, I'm just kidding. And it came to pass in the 25th year of Jeconiah, king of Judah, that the word of the Lord came to Baruch, the son of Neriah, and said to him, have you seen all that this people are doing to me? That the evils which these 2 tribes have remained have done, or which remained have done, are greater than those of the 10 tribes which were carried away captive? For the former tribes were forced by their kings to commit sin, but these 2 of themselves have been forcing and compelling their kings to commit sin. For this reason, behold, I bring evil upon this city and upon its inhabitants, and it shall be removed from before me for a time. For a time. And I will scatter this people among the Gentiles, that they may do good to the Gentiles, and my people shall be chastened, and the time shall come when they will seek for the prosperity of their times. For I have said these things to you, that you may bid Jeremiah and all those that are like you to retire from this city. For your works are to this city as a firm pillar, and your prayers as a strong wall. And I said, O Lord, my Lord, have I come into the world for this purpose, that I might see the evils of my mother? Not so, my Lord. If I have found grace in your sight, first take my spirit, that I may go to my fathers and not behold the destruction of my mother. For 2 things vehemently constrain me, for I cannot resist you, and my soul, moreover, cannot behold the evils of my mother. But one thing I will say in your presence, O Lord, what therefore will there be after these things? For if you destroy your city and deliver up your land to those that hate us, how shall the name of Israel be again remembered? Or how shall one speak of your praises? Or to whom shall that which is in your law be explained? Or shall the world return to its nature of aforetime, and the age revert to primeval silence? And shall the multitude of souls be taken away, and the nature of man not again be named? And where is all that which you did say regarding us? And the Lord said unto me, this city shall be delivered up for a time, and the people shall be chastened during a time, and the world shall not be given over to oblivion. I don't like this word, dost. Do you think that this city or this is the city of which I said, on the palms of my hands have I graven you. This building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed with me. I just got to pause there. Remember the revelation of Jesus Christ? That's the last book in the Bible. And it says in that book that is the testimony of Jesus Christ. But it's from heaven. Like, it's it's his, what would you call that? It's the testimony from God, from the right side of God's throne.
From the Word of God, yep.
Yeah. So it's coming from the throne. That his testimony is coming from the throne of God. I'm just saying it's a very important book.
For sure.
And it's something, it's a revelation. That's what's interesting. Go ahead.
Isn't oblivion the spirit of fornication? Or something like that?
It could be. You're making me think of
one of the Apocryphy books
vision,
says what it...
the vision, let's look it up really quick. The vision of St. Paul says that about when he looked back at the firmament.
Yeah. That might be what I'm thinking of. It might be called something else.
It does say oblivion. It does say, I think.
Is it called oblivion in there?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, you're right. You're going to the right direction. I remember that's where it's at. Yep.
So this is the Apostle Paul when he was taken up to the third heaven. But he says, and I proceeded back after the angel, and he led me into heaven, and I looked back upon the firmament, and I saw in the same place power, and there was there oblivion, which deceives and draws down to itself the hearts of men, and the spirit of detraction, and the spirit of fornication, just like you said, and the spirit of madness, and the spirit of insolence, and there were there the princes of vices. These I saw under the firmament of heaven. Wow.
NASA, SpaceX.
Yep. Falcon 9.
Yeah. Rods of wickedness.
Yep. Flying scrolls, flying rolls.
There's no rockets in the Bible, Joe. Don't you talk like that.
No, there's he-goats, though, that have notable horns between their eyes that move over the face of the whole earth without touching the ground.
Yeah, don't forget they have breastplates of metal and nails of brass, so obviously they're made out of metal and great iron teeth.
Yep. And they're conical shaped.
Yeah.
Horns. And they go up to the stars from the ground. They go up to the stars.
They make fire come down out of heaven.
Yep, they make fire come down out of heaven, and they deceive people by doing that, by making fire come down from the sky.
Man, that sounds just like Falcon 9s.
And it actually says it's a miracle. It's a satanic miracle, so it's not even real. It's like, it might be real, but it's not even, it's a fake out. It's like fake.
I guess I'm going to be the wimp right now and tell everybody what happened to me the other day when I was watching that rocket launch. I know we were all kind of on the group chat there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I broke down in tears driving. Yeah. I was like, wow, I don't even know why I'm crying. I was like, I said, sorry, God, when I seen that thing. When I seen the engines, that big circle with all the little circles in it, you could see it. Like, that's crazy. Wow.
And it's, I don't know why a lot of people don't notice the blasphemy there. And I don't know why, but that's okay.
I know.
But that's
at least they know God's in heaven.
I'll tell you what I do know, and I like, I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm just a dude who is nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just a regular person, and but I do read the Bible and I do read these books, and there's a lot of things that stand out to me in these books, like these visions of the time of the end, that all these prophets were shown these really strange things. But if we compare them to what we can see in our world, I mean, what makes it up to the stars that's shaped like a horn? There's only one type of thing in our world, and they say, well, maybe that's not it. Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not it. There's a dragon flying around in the firmament.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say that. Just so happens to be called dragon.
For the first time in 2,000 years, for the first time since John wrote the book of Revelation, and for the like 2,000 years, there was never a dragon flying up in space or whatever you want to call it. But John did see a dragon flying up there.
Daniel said it. Daniel said it.
Yeah.
It broke in pieces. It stamped the ground with the feet. Wow.
Yep. It had great iron teeth.
So whether people believe that's not it or not, it does match, like 100%.
Yeah, and it's a choice, you know, and I don't, maybe it's not important, but to me, because I understand what
Mm-hmm.
they're describing, it's not even a question to me,
Nope.
because
Nope.
like if we were like there's proof in their visions of what they're talking about. It just didn't exist until right now.
Amen.
So when we look at it right now, we're like, well, yeah, that's obviously what he was talking about. Like if I brought up Daniel 8, he sees this thing, he's describing this ram and this he goat, and they're doing all this, they're fighting and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they're it's like breaking into pieces, and another little horn comes out from those ones. It's like, and then, but what does it do at the end? This would be the proof of what it is or could be. It goes up to the stars and casts the stars down from and stamps upon them.
To the
Like
host
that.
of heaven.
Yeah, and it was a goat. Or was it the ram? I can't remember. I always get
The
that
ram,
screwed up.
which is a pillar or a pilaster
Yep.
or a mighty
or
tree.
a post or a column
Yep.
or a strong tree or a mighty man. That's the one I
The
don't
same-
understand.
The
Mighty
same
man.
shape as a rocket.
Yeah. The great pillar, like in the Testament of Solomon. When they let down the
Oh.
pillar, then will be the end of the world. There's
Bro,
so
that-
many scriptures that talk about rockets. Enoch 57.
The other day, I was going to put that on the group chat. The other day when that thing launched, that was like in my mind. I was like, is that the pillar?
Do you hear it too? The sound of
Oh
it
my
is just awful.
God.
It's awful.
And that wasn't even full. Like, there was motors not even running on that. The motors went down. Like, what,
Yeah.
4 motors or 5 motors went down on it?
I think 6 total. Or
6,
maybe,
yeah.
6 total by the time it was, by the time they blew it up.
Don't worry, they got what, 3 more? They got 4 of them built right now, I think.
Yeah, they got plenty more.
They got a whole army, don't they, Joe?
Yeah, they got an army again, and they're compassed around.
What did Jesus say?
Jerusalem. Where was
What did
that?
Jesus say? He said, when you see armies surrounding
Oh,
Jerusalem,
That's right here, isn't it?
24,
Is it
I think
24?
Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew 24, and it says in verse 15. This is right after the gospel of the kingdom being preached is mentioned. It says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Where's the holy place, you guys? That's in heaven. It says, whoso
agree.
readeth, let him understand. Then let them that which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
I don't understand that part, but
I don't understand it either, but
I'm thinking, are
for
those the
there-
mountains?
It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Worse than the flood, people.
Yep.
Mhm.
Worse than the flood by far, I think.
If you
Many
wanna
false
know-
Christs and many false prophets, and shall so great signs and wonders, like probably like landing rockets and stuff.
Making fire come down out of heaven.
Yeah. Yep.
If you want to
Shaking
know
the
what
world.
if you want to know what it does, how bad it is, just read Isaiah 24
Yeah, we could if you wanted to. If you want
or
to.
Isaiah 43. I think
Oh,
Isaiah
yeah.
43.
Let's do
I think
that.
when he
That's a
says,
good one.
you can pull it up. I'll tell you what I
Because
think it is.
if we do that, that'll get us to look at Isaiah 48 also, because of the former things that he spoke from the beginning.
Isaiah 40 through 50, man, is amazing. Wow,
Yeah.
don't get no much better than that. All the scriptures.
So what should we
43 is where does it say when thou passeth through the waters,
I will
when
be
thou
with
walk
thee.
when thou
Yeah, right
walkest
here,
through,
verse 2.
right there, yeah, through the fire. I think that right there's the waters above on fire right there.
Oh, wow.
I really do. I keep
They
Joe.
shall
It just
not
keeps.
overflow thee when
Yeah,
thou walkest
Jesus is gonna
through the
protect.
fire. Thou shalt not be burned. Oh, man, I never thought of that.
Joe, I'm telling you,
do you want to
man.
read that? Do you want to just read some of that?
I'll read the whole thing. Let me pull it
Yeah,
up real
read
quick.
the whole thing if you want. Like, when we get down to, I think, verse 9, let's talk about verse 9 when you get down there.
Let me just pull it. There it is. This phone. I was gonna get another one the other day, and I didn't. I didn't want to spend $100.
I'm going to mute while you read. How's that?
I'm a tight wad. I squeak when I walk. I could have $1 million and I still wouldn't want to spend it. I don't know why. Okay, right here.
All right, I'm muting you.
Yeah, Isaiah 43. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for the ransom, Ethiopia and Sibia for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up. I think that's talking about NASA. And the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved and have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Thus saith the Lord your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles, and the Chaldeans, whose cry is in the ships. I am the Lord your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. Thus saith the Lord, which maketh a way in the sea, and a path in the mighty waters, which bring forth the chariots and horses, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, and the rivers in the desert, and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field shall honor me, the dragons and the owls, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people have I formed for myself, they shall show forth my praise. But thou hast not called upon me, O Jacob, but thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offering, neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense. Thou hast bought me with no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices, but thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. I, even I, am he that blotteth out thy transgressions for my own sake, and will not remember thy sins. Put me in remembrance, let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Uh-oh, my phone does that. Where was I at? Uh-oh. Oh, we were in 43. There we go.
Oh, you lost
Put
it.
me
It
in.
was you were in
Yeah.
verse 26 or 27.
Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thy first father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore, I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to the reproaches. Yeah, that's a good one.
I was muted. Sorry. Oh, that
I
thing
really
that thing's getting all bad now again.
is it. Let me go over
Yeah.
here and
If
flip it
you
back.
switch it and it fixes it, I'm gonna laugh, dude.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. Back
I'll
over.
just okay, dude. It fixed it.
I'm telling you,
It's
crazy.
gone. So it's something like it's got to be something with like how StreamYard works or something. But well, maybe we figured out our audio issue because it's not our
Hopefully.
phones or my computer or my mic or like I've been on YouTube for a long time. I know how to run the audio. You've been on with me a ton of times for years, and you know how to run. Like what I'm saying is, I think it's because we're using StreamYard.
I actually like StreamYard better than
I
the
do
other.
too.
What's the other one? The other big one that a lot.
OBS or
There's a new one that people use.
Twitch or something. I have no
I
idea.
don't remember the name of it, but I can't never keep service on it. Like my
Oh.
phone always wants to lose service on it.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's
Bobby uses it.
is it Restream or something maybe?
It might be. It's got a blue background around it or something like that, like a dark blue background. Anyway, yeah. This one rings this 43 right here, man. Walking through those waters and through the fire, that right there. It's
look at
almost
this,
every
though.
day.
This like this one really stuck out to me. Like, okay, David Weiss comes into mind again, and I don't like I'm not like directing this set, but he's a good example of
I hear you.
Of someone. Actually, you know what? I sent it in Globebusters today. I sent we got to look at chapter 42. 42 verse 7 is the David Weiss verse. It is. Let's read it. It says,
ain't that amazing?
To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. That's what David Weiss might as well just say that, because that's what he's
Space is fake.
Yep.
Yep.
And he goes like he just put a video out, and you guys, if you're so sure of the globe, if anyone's out there that is like thinks they're pretty sure the globe is like accurate, right?
Globe head. Oh,
check out David Weiss's video he just put up today. Because if you like, you can measure, you can use like lines to measure. You can like go around an island, or you can, you know what I'm saying? You can measure with the like, I don't think you can with the app, but you can do it like on your computer. And you can measure anything on the globe, except when you try to measure Antarctica, it does some weird thing. It's like, it doesn't make any sense what it does. But maybe we'll have to watch that video, or I don't have it, but yeah, it's pointing out stuff like that. It is exactly this verse: to open the blind eyes, to bring the prisoners out from the prison, or to bring out the prisoners from the prison. It's like David's running along and like busting the locks off the cage doors. He's like, boom! Every interview he does, he's breaking more. It's just like that's what he's doing.
Ain't that amazing? You can actually see that scripture being fulfilled. People doing it.
Yeah, you totally
Crazy.
can. And you know what's even cooler about that? It's
What's that?
It's actually God is describing that. God's the one saying that David is going to be opening blind eyes. Because look at the verse before. It says, I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee. To me, what is righteousness? Obviously, the creator of all things would probably dictate what righteousness is.
For sure.
I'm just saying that because
I don't even think we can grasp all of it like that.
I think we can learn it, though.
We can learn it, but I don't think we're gonna know it like he knows it.
But in order to know it, you have to start from not knowing it.
For sure, you got to be like a child.
You can't already know it,
No.
right?
Nope.
So I don't know. Okay, so back to where we were. I'm sorry. In Isaiah 43, whoops, what am I doing? I guess I'm doing it not the normal way.
Yeah, let's talk about the dragons and the owls.
So, see, I don't understand why, like, it's like I gotta refresh it or something. It's like it's not responding when I click. Whoops. Wow, this.
When I hear verse 20, the beast of the field, I think of Daniel right there. When I see that word beast, I'm like, Daniel.
Yeah.
And he's talking about dragons and owls right there. That's like SpaceX Dragon and owls, satellites. So what do? They watch over us.
So
Like
here's
he says in Revelation, Joe, that they can't see nor talk nor he's talking about the I think he calls them owls, maybe not. Maybe it's the abominations that they make with their hands. But he says they can't see nor walk nor talk.
Oh yeah, in
Like
Ezekiel, are you talking? In Ezekiel,
I think so. I can't remember where it's at, but
we'll
he's
have to
like
go to Ezekiel too. Before
I
we're all
actually
done
got
here.
Ezekiel opened up in my book right now. There was one I wanted to read out of there. 28.
Okay, I want to show you guys something, just really quick. That okay, if you are a person like me and you're going around and saying to the guard, lumberyard guards or whatever at Menards, if you're saying to them, "You guys heard about the flat Earth?" Or actually, like my neighbor was walking his dog, and I mentioned it to him too. I'm not even kidding. Yesterday, right in front of my house. Anyway,
Did the dog bark like 3 times?
no,
Flat.
the dog said flat, stationary.
Flat.
But
I walk on it
like,
every day.
But no, the guy was nice with me.
Funny.
He was just like, and he had not heard about it. So I said, "Have you heard of the flat Earth before?" Or I say it something like that. Have you heard about flat Earth or the flat?
Planting
I
the
always say
seeds,
the
huh?
flat Earth. Well, how is someone gonna ever put it this way? When something good happens to yourself,
hmm
and you see people around you that you know it hasn't happened to, or probably hasn't happened to, this good thing that happened inside you, or whatever description.
I understand what you're
this
saying.
good thing
Yep.
happened. Like
Mhm.
if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 of how good it was, it would be definitely a 10.
Be 11.
Yeah, it would be like 12. Yeah. But so when you see someone else that and like usually you can tell these other people that have experienced it, because there's some very specific things that they all realize. And I just think that to entertain something you were taught to ridicule, like to be able to entertain it, it's a little uncomfortable, right?
hmm
But how long is that? For maybe 5 minutes until like however long. If you're certain about something, you would never be able to learn a different thing.
I think I know what you're talking about. Or like, are you talking about when you tell someone it? Because sometimes when I'm like, should I tell this person? I want to tell this person. I want to tell this person. And then maybe I just start blabbing my mouth. I'm like, all right, here we go. Earth's flat. And then you start telling them all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I walk away, I'm like, whew, got that off my chest.
Yeah. But no, it is right. But it's almost like you're burdening them a little and yourself a little bit more. You know what I mean?
You don't want to, yeah.
I think there's a verse in Revelation that describes that good, where John was told to eat
The
I
book,
have to go, yeah, the little book or whatever, and
sweet as honey.
sweet as honey in his mouth, but it
Yeah.
was bitter in his stomach. Like that might be
You ain't lying. That's kind of weird. I
sweet
never
and
thought of
sour,
that.
or whatever you want to,
Yeah.
however you want to look at that. That might be something that goes along with it. But
Because you don't want to trouble people, and it's not that I don't care if they label me stupid or whatever. I don't care about that. But
yeah, but who showed
just
you?
like-
You had to go through it, and you still think it's an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10.
for sure,
So you know that's not a problem for anybody, because we all had like you like let go of that very fast. I mean, put it this way: here's proof that it doesn't really get to people too much, because I mean it builds up, but it like it doesn't really bother pretty much anybody because they still, no matter what ridicule they get, they're still out telling people, or at least people know that about them. Like that's like one of the smallest things, is that discomfort or whatever you want to call it.
Joe's gonna come home tomorrow or next day, and they hit that neighbor he told that to is gonna have a big old sign on the back of his truck. Earth's flat.
Yeah, it'd be like research flat Earth, DITRH. But yeah, I just know that this super good thing that happened to me, or like there's a lot of people that say the same thing.
Elon.
There's nothing more that I would want than for it to happen to everyone that I talk to.
Right.
And even
Everyone
if
you know.
even if it's like all kind of awkward and weird at first, I'm like, they're like, "What are you talking about? Why would that matter? Who's to benefits from that?" And then all these questions, when really all I want them to do is just like, I made a video today, like literally, put your hand on the ground and just make an observation for me, because there's truth that's like this creation that we've been talking about, this biblical one. It screams truth to, well, I'll say a certain generation. It does. It screams truth. If you touch it with your hand, and then if you, I don't know how to put yourself in the right place. I really don't. I'm not able to tell anyone how to put yourself in the right state of mind, but put yourself in that state of mind where you're ready to think about something else. You don't have to decide on anything, but to think about it.
Right.
I think something supernatural happens, no matter what you believe. If you're not religious or whatever, I don't think it has to do necessarily, at least to begin with.
Right.
I think a lot of people see truth and something supernatural happens. That's or they hear about it. Go ahead.
You know why a lot of times I say, like the lady the other day at the Loves, it's usually people that I hear talking, they saying the Lord and stuff. And I find myself, I'm like, all right, I don't want this person to, think, how do I even say this? I don't want them to believe they know the truth, but they don't. Clearly, I don't know what they know, but if I say a few things, I can find out pretty quickly.
Yeah, just like
if they've been shown, what we've all been shown, that what's here being revealed, put it that way.
Well, and like it all depends on how you look at prophecy that Jesus himself told. Like when he was here 2,000 years ago, and then he said he's going to do certain things, and then he said, he didn't say when.
Right.
He said I'll raise you up at the last day. He said a lot of things, but there's an end of this way of reality. There's an end to it. And he said he was going to return at the end of it.
Day of the Lord.
Yeah. So it makes me think of what did he say? Well, like what we were talking about before, it might not look to be to believe in the Son of God. I call him Jesus. A lot of people call him different names, but we're all talking about the same Son of God.
Son of God, yeah.
That's one thing that I think everyone would probably agree on, whether you call him Yahweh or Yahuwah or whatever you call him, or you call him Redeemer,
Yeshua.
Whatever you call him. There's a Father on his throne, and there's a Son at his right hand. I don't think we're going to understand. And also, there is a Spirit that proceeds from that throne.
Yep.
It proceeds from God's throne, and that's what Jesus said. So, however, like a lot of people want to debate the Trinity, and I think it'd be, for me, it'd be best to say, well, there's certain things I understand and there's certain things I don't.
Right.
I'm not going to pretend to understand them if I don't. And I'm still going to seek to understand them. What I'm saying is, I know what the Bible says, and I could choose an argument and kind of choose it, but really we know that Jesus is the Son of God, and he's the flesh part, the man part.
There you go.
You can't divide it up and be accurate. We know that
The
God
the
has a
image.
throne in heaven,
Yeah.
and he never leaves his throne. He sits on the throne above the circle of the earth. Someone put that in the chat. Jewish Samaritan did, I think. I'm going to scroll up. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. So, and the heavens are his throne, and the earth is his footstool.
Do you think if the heavens were to pass away, his God and his throne would come down?
They'll be able to see his throne. It says that in Revelations. They're like, hide us from the one who sits on the throne.
Right.
So I think when the sky departs, that it removes that darkness from the sky, and that darkness, I don't know how that it. I think it's
Flees away.
It's on fire at that point,
Mhm.
and it becomes like a lake.
The
It already
abysses.
It already is a lake. It's the great sea of. It's the dark waters, the above the earth, like above the sky. So, I think that's
In the
the
firmament.
Basically, the firmament is going to dissolve away, and everything in it is going to change. I mean, the sun goes dark and the moon doesn't give its light?
Yeah, and Joel,
And-
the host of heaven, are dissolved.
Yeah, and then also in Revelation, I think it's Revelation 6, the heaven departed and the
Yep.
stars fell like figs from a fig tree or something.
Coming
So-
soon.
Well, and you know what else?
I had to take a deep breath on that one. Whew.
I really wish I could play a TikTok video like that. I think I sent it to you guys. Do you remember the video to you and Tony, but it was a SpaceX. I don't think it was SpaceX, but it was someone making like an animation of all the launches of Falcon 9, and they were like, it was like one after the other. Do you remember that? It was like choo, 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 choo.
Makes me think of the firmament liquor.
Yeah.
Remember, you're the guy
Yep.
that gets on your channel.
Yeah, the
He's just
firmament
like,
liquor.
how many licks can the firmament take?
And he's like, delicious. I don't get it, but it's hilarious.
We're not laughing at you, God. Promise. We're laughing at Satan.
So I just think it's interesting though, and I don't see it to be of interest to debate the Trinity or is Jesus God.
No.
I think that it all depends on how we understand it, but the point being, whatever you call him, whatever you believe his name is,
Right.
whether you call him Lord, or some people think that's bad,
I call him Lord.
but we're still talking about a supernatural element
one
of God, which is called the Son of God.
The one who showed you the truth.
Yeah, the one.
There you go.
Yeah, and also, he came as a man to the
Yep.
earth to live out in the flesh, being bound by time and all the things that we live, he lived. Like he
Yeah,
didn't
to
have
conquer-
he didn't have
to
a
conquer
free
death.
ride.
Yeah.
He didn't have a free ride when he came here, but
Oh,
I don't
no.
even understand all the reasons that he came here, but I do know that one of them
Multiple reasons.
one of the reasons
I know what you're
have-
fixing to say.
I have to go there.
Let me
But-
see if I can say it before you say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
To bear witness to the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say right before he was crucified to Pilate? Because Pilate was like, "Are you a king then?" And Jesus is like, "You say that I'm a king." And he ends up saying,
To this end was I born.
Yes.
Yeah.
He tells why he was born and why he came into the world. He tells that to Pilate, right? Like probably what, an hour before. I'm just
Was
saying,
it
like he's
was
on
it
his.
that soon? Wow.
Well, it was when Pilate was like, I mean, it was maybe hours. I really don't know how the timeline. What I'm saying, it was one of the last things he said before they hung him on before they crucified him.
Right.
Like he said to I should go there. Oh wait, I got my Bible here. I can just look it up in there because then
He
I don't
also
have to
talked
open another
about
page.
he also told him about the heavenly things. How would
Yeah,
you know the
my kingdom is not of this world.
of
He
this
said.
world? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I forgot about that.
The only thing that worries me, I don't really
No,
say
go
worries
ahead.
me anymore, is the about the whole Trinity thing. Is when people lower Christ and they're like, "Oh no, he's not equal with God. He's lower than God." That's the only thing that
And
kind of bugs me. But I let it go. It is
I
what it
think,
is.
yeah, I think we have to let it go because
Yeah, we do.
even if it's not like wrong for them to be trying to understand it. So, for me, I just say, well, Jesus. Right now, my understanding is that he's in a one of a
He's almighty.
kind. He's in a one
He's
of a
almighty.
kind body right
He's
now.
Almighty God to me. I'm just gonna put that there.
Well, he said I and my Father are one.
That's right.
So the as far as the whatever, I don't even understand the whole Trinity argument,
What
the
did the
size or
Father?
whatever.
If they
But
say it that way, what did the Father say? Believe on the one whom He sent.
you know what, I want to read some comments.
So
Well, I had a comment on my channel where someone was like, Jesus is not God, and they said something like, he didn't pray to himself in the garden. He didn't, and like they named all this weird stuff. Like he didn't do this to
yeah, I've
himself.
heard that before
He didn't sacrifice himself to
many
all this.
times. Yeah.
But the problem with that is that there's just a person trying to not
You know what I say
understand.
about that?
That's
You know
like
what
pretty. That's actually like pretty rude to God.
You know what I say about that?
What?
That was before He was glorified. People don't understand that neither,
Yeah,
because Jesus was a man
he
on
was a
the
man.
earth,
Yeah, yeah.
serving his fleshly body,
Yep.
overcoming sin.
Somehow.
So until he had the power of God, he had the Spirit of God in him.
Yep.
He come from God, like from the Father, as the Spirit of God in
Yeah.
heaven.
Yep. He's the Word
But
of
like they
God.
always say, he always said that people say, well, he didn't know the time, because he says, no man knows the time, neither nor me nor the angels, only the Father
Well,
in
but
heaven.
he was bound by time when he said that.
In the flesh, yes, because that was before he
And
was
then
glorified.
and then we got a whole book of his testimony that's like very detailed book called the Book of Revelation.
I got two
That came
scriptures,
after he was not bound by time anymore. You got to consider
and
that.
in Psalms, I think it's in Psalms. I just want to say this. In Psalms, if they say that's Yahweh, the Father, speaking in the Old Testament, which I
Yeah.
believe it's Jesus, always has been.
He's the
But
Word.
yes, right. So,
Yeah.
but it says in Psalms, I will not give my glory unto another.
Yeah.
And
So
they say that's Yahweh.
and it is,
Okay,
but it's
that's fine. But who got the glory? When he was being
Jesus.
crucified, I received the glory that we had together before the creation. Boom.
And then also his glory being revealed.
That's it.
That might be even people like, remember he would open to them the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
but until that point they didn't understand it. Obviously, because he
Yeah, I
opened the
don't.
scriptures to them. What I'm saying is, if that could be happening as like something in that way, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I hear you. I don't really argue with people about that anymore. I used to. I used to sit there for hours and debate people about it, but I don't
just
do it
think
anymore.
I just think it's good that like people understand that the Son of
I do get,
God.
like I said, I do get a little upset. I don't really say nothing to no one. I just kind of let it go. But I do get upset when I hear people like lowering Christ, that he's just a
Yeah, they
man or
shouldn't.
a prophet or no.
No, he's not just a
That
prophet.
man said things. That man said things throughout time, even when he was here, that have come true before my eyes.
And
There's no way.
he did his father's will.
It don't matter what you say to me. There's no way. I've been shown too much. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. You can't prove to me that Jesus isn't who he claims to be.
And a lot of
Ain't no way.
that you've been shown is straight out of the book of Revelation, which is literally
Yep.
called the revelation of Jesus Christ. Like
Jesus Christ.
him being revealed.
Yep.
Jesus being revealed. Not
He's being
it's
he's
not
being
saying
he's being revealed in a lot of these prophets. Isaiah, they talk about he comes and he's pierced and crucified.
yeah,
That was 500 years before he came to the earth.
Oh, and then he's in the book of Enoch as
For sure.
and it says all
Everywhere.
the same thing. These apocryphal books, when they Ezra saw him. Ezra saw him. He was really tall among these people that had palms, and he asked, "Who is that?" And he's like, "That's the Son of God."
That's weird, Joe. Wasn't he tall in your dream?
Yes, that was so strange to me. He was like 9 or 10 feet tall. He was as tall so that, like, when he was just standing up with his arms or like his hands down, just like hanging down, but by their side or whatever.
Right.
And that's about how high my shoulder was.
Wow. I know.
And his hands were down at his waist. That
I know
high. And yeah, it was. He was tall.
The dream I had. I was trying to climb this mountain, and every time I'd get up to the clouds were like at the peak of the mountain, and I had a sack on, I had straw in it or something. It was weird. And I was trying to climb the mountain, and every time I get up to the cloud level, I'd put my hand up and I'd slip back down. I did it like 4 times. On the fourth
but it
time,
looked like you'd be able to go up.
well, on the 4th time, I got up there and I went to put my hand up to the cloud to grab it, and a hand like the size of my tractor trailer right here came down, and it like if you were to slap someone's hand, like grab someone's hand like that, and I woke up. I was like, "What the heck was that?"
Okay, Ellie Toper. No, you're not eavesdropping on a phone call. We're just talking a little bit. She says, "What is it that you want to present to your audience?" Well, the title of this is The Gospel of the Kingdom, and so we've just been talking about this. I guess maybe we're slightly off topic, so thanks for
We always are.
keeping us in line. But we're talking about New Jerusalem that comes down from God out of heaven in Revelation, and that's basically what we're talking about, and we're also talking about the gospel of that kingdom. So, like,
and how it's being preached now,
and how we believe that truth that a lot of people are talking about, and a lot of people have changed their beliefs about, is very important truth. It's one that can be perceived, and I don't have the secret key of how to a person, like it seems like some people approach it one way and they see it, and other people approach it a different way and they just can't see it. So I don't know how that decision is made, but there is truth in this world, and we've inherited lies from generations and generations, and before we have any idea about, I'm sure, in our history.
Yeah, before we were born. For sure, yeah.
So here's what Jesus said when he was talking to Pilate, he said, "Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. So to me, I was talking with Achilles 7 in the chat over at Globebusters. We were just talking back and forth, and
Right.
I was trying to convey this idea to him that I think it might look different than, like, for someone to follow the Lamb, it might look a lot different than any of us would have previously kind of expected it to look. Maybe.
That goes for a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things. A lot of things aren't what we thought they were.
Like I
I
see,
don't know how to put
a
that in
ton
words.
of, I seen over these recent years, I've seen a ton of atheists, atheists that weren't concerned about any scripture at all, but they, however it happens, and I know it's the spirit of truth, but however it happens, it's like seems like many atheists, or maybe that's like some people wouldn't call them an atheist, but if you didn't believe in God or it didn't concern you or you thought it was like maybe the spirit world isn't real or but tons of those people suddenly saw that water was flat.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, if you talk to them now, years later, they've dove into the Bible and they've dove into a lot of these things, and most of them, even if they're not like me and you, we like look at these scriptures a lot. Some people don't, but they're
Every day.
still. I would what Jesus said, it was everyone that's of the truth hears my voice. So I'm saying, like, if there's truth, I think that people are when they believe the truth, I think they're believing it there something supernatural happens. That's what I'm saying.
Following the Lamb.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah.
and they become part of a great
Even
army actually.
Yep. Even if they denied the name of Jesus, like
Yep.
what we
That's
think is the name of Jesus was to be like Jesus Christ or whatever, like the guy yesterday on
yeah,
on Bobby's channel.
he had a great attitude. He's like, I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know, but I'm not against anything that anyone believes, like as far as religion goes. Like I liked how he was looking at it. And like I say, if I grew up in a different country, I bet you I would not have the same idea about the Bible or whatever, or the religion or God.
For sure. Yep.
It a lot of it, and that's why truth is interesting. Truth is universal.
You got people in China,
Yep,
Brazil, Africa
everywhere,
that have never read this book, or they're not Christian, nothing like that, and they're doing and saying the things that Christ said they would be doing and saying
and
in this book.
They're witnesses of something that they hadn't been there for their whole life, and suddenly they're a witness to something that they call truth.
And it all goes back to creation, to the true creation.
So look at this though, in verse 9 in Isaiah 43, like we were there for a while, but okay, it talks about former things, and I didn't really know exactly what that meant, but then I want to show you a verse that tells us exactly what it means. But it says, "Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is truth." So that's clearly talking about witnesses coming forth and being justified when they say it's truth. Like, let them hear and say it is truth. So what are the former things then? Because he's asking who can declare this.
It tells you what is a little bit further.
It's in Isaiah 48.
48, yeah.
It's awesome what he says the former things are.
Verse 3.
Because this is like so clear. He says, "I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them, I did them suddenly, and they came to pass." Just think about, let there be light.
Exactly.
He spoke it. He said, let there be light. It was a
Let there be a
declaration. He
firmament.
declared it.
Yeah.
And this verse is saying that's what the former things are. The things he declared from the beginning. So what's this other verse that we were just looking at? Actually, what did I do?
Go down a little bit further there.
Am I in 43? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it says, who among them can declare this and show us former things? So he spoke it in the beginning, and then at the end, these witnesses are going to, what did it say? I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of. So he's like calling them up.
Israel.
Yeah, and it's the
They're,
same as
they're scattered.
in Ezekiel, I think 37, that valley of dry bones, and then he commanded
Yep.
them to become this great army. They like got skin and like formed into this great army.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that's the chapter, I think, where he says, I will put my spirit in you,
Mm-hmm.
or a new spirit in you.
A new spirit. Yep.
And then he says, and I will take you from among the heathen and place you in your own land. And I'm like, land? Flatland.
Flatland.
But so, yeah, these former things, so people are these witnesses are going to declare biblical creation, like Genesis, or I saw someone in the chat put 2nd Ezra 6, like all these are different accounts of creation that the prophets wrote. 6 days.
Unless, because it says right here in 48 verse 5, I have even from the beginning declared it to thee before it came to pass. I showed it thee, lest thou sayest, my idol have done them, and my graven image and my molten image have commanded them.
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Like your molten image created it.
For sure.
Yeah, it came from that bigger rock of planet over there. We're not a planet, you guys.
No.
Earth is not a planet. The planets are in the sky.
What are the
Earth's
planets,
not
Joe?
in the sky. What?
What are the planets? Tell them what the planets are.
They are evil. Well, you know what I think they really are? Is that they're stars that disobeyed on the fourth day.
Transgressed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my understanding is on the fourth day, God created the sun, moon, and the stars. And I think the planets were included in that. So he created the sun, moon, and stars. And on the fourth day, when the stars were supposed to come out, I mean, I'm not sure if it's exactly at the fourth day, but Enoch said that these 7 stars, that they didn't come out at their appointed time. So they didn't obey what God commanded them to do, and he just created them or whatever. And so he was wroth with them or angry with them, and he bound them. What does it say in the blackness of darkness forever? Something like that. But those are the wandering stars. The 7 planets. That's what that word means. That word planet, it's it comes from a Greek word, which is planetes or something.
Uh-huh.
And the root of the root of the English term planet, it is planeo. And that word means straight up cause to wander, lead astray, deceive.
Yeah,
to sway from the truth.
Teach falsely.
I have a video about that, don't I?
Yeah, we got a good video about that.
Let me see if
I
I
like
can
that
find
one.
it, because I just, there was a lot of things in that
got,
in this one video.
It's got Revelation. You just posted it a couple days ago, I think. It's got Revelation
or
in
I
it.
did it on a live stream, didn't I? I think I know which one it is.
I think you made like a 10-minute video about it. It had Revelation in it.
Is it dumb? It might just be music.
Had the dragon in it.
I think it's this one. It might just be music. And this is, I'm going to see how long it is. 5 minutes, but we don't have to watch the whole thing. Just, it'll just be going on the screen, I think. Let's see. Let me stop my cam. Oops, I got to hit
I'm
this
down for
one.
whatever, man. I don't have no bedtime.
Nice. It's 6:09 p.m. here. What is it, 7 there?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't have to get up until like 10 in the morning.
Nice. Let's see here. Okay, open. Here we go. I think it's just music, but it might not be, so we'll see.
I'm going to mute.
Me too. guess it was voices, but so this is just Jupiter, and I did it time lapse so you can see the moon, like the moon's kind of moving different than Jupiter.
Your volume's real low, Joe.
Oh, is that better there? Sorry about that.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, this is just Jupiter. But I think I did like you'll be able to see my screen, and we were looking at some of these words in Strong's. Let's see here. Here we go. Is it just music still? Let me see. I think it's just music the whole way through. So Jude 1, it says, raging waves of the sea. Whoops, let me turn this music off. Sorry, guys. Foaming out their own shame, wandering stars to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. So then, same verse, we look at the word wandering. That's planetes, a wanderer. I don't know why I did it so slow. So it's derived from planeo, a wandering star, planet, a false teacher operating without moral compass.
I think I was talking about the Armageddon video. I actually did it on Facebook Live. Yeah, that was a good one, man. You did it 13 days ago. I'm looking on your channel right now. Oh, look,
it starts off with dragon right away, right?
Yeah.
Should we watch that?
There's Kent Hovind talking about his
Swingosaurus or whatever.
That one's hilarious.
Yeah, I love Kent.
I do too.
So yeah, the root of the English term planet is planeo, and that's where that word comes from.
Yeah,
so,
not a good word.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. Okay, here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. So this is the Genesis 6 angels.
That's 19, right?
Yeah, and do you remember when we were talking about Enoch's the seventh from Adam, and there was 77 there were 77 generations from Adam to Jesus?
Yeah, they are right there. That's crazy right there.
So Jesus freed the captives. He brought the righteous, like hell was beneath the earth, in the heart of the earth, and Jesus descended into it for 3 days, right?
Yep.
What did he do while he was there? He moved it.
Yep.
He took the keys, and because Enoch said that these fallen angels would be bound in the earth, buried in the earth for 70 generations. And that just happens to be at that time would be when Jesus was here. And he said, Enoch said, they shall be let, or like at that time they would be let off into the abyss of fire.
So you mean to tell me, because this just like hit me right now.
Yeah.
From the time Enoch was doing his thing until Jesus went to the heart of the earth, was on earth, whatever, crucified, and went into the heart of earth, was 70 generations?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what that tells me is that, remember we were reading in Isaiah 14, you were bringing up hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. So think about this. So in those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, to the torment, and where they'd be confined forever. Okay, so that was like the second. In Enoch there was like two judgments, and then when the first one was the 70 generations, and then the second one would be they in a different place, in the abyss of fire. And then so what we were just looking at, I think maybe like here, this is the same place. And Uriel tells him that the Genesis 6 angels also will be there, and they'll their spirits can assume different forms and defile mankind. So when we talk about astronauts, I don't think we're talking about people. I really don't. I think we're entertaining angels if we're thinking they're people. Because there's 200 of them bound in a place of darkness. And I would say that if you moved something from beneath, you'd probably be moving it above. Where else would you move it? Beneath the beneath? I don't think there is a beneath, right? I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make sense of what, here, I'll go there and,
That's crazy. That was like 70 generations between Enoch and the coming.
yeah. And Enoch was 7 from Adam.
That's crazy. I remember us talking
77
about
generations. That
'Cause
never
I'm telling
made
you-
sense to me just till like maybe what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
maybe a month ago.
It was like the week during that week before we did the video. I can't remember what video it was. I was thinking about that, and I was like, I wonder if Jesus moved them angels whenever.
You brought that up in one of our talks,
But I didn't
live
know-
streams here.
I didn't know that it was 70 generations between Enoch and Jesus coming to the earth like that.
I didn't
That's
know
crazy.
either till I Googled it. Like,
Yeah, remember you sent me something.
you got me to think about that, and like in the book of Adam and Eve, or the first book of Adam and Eve, it
Right.
also says that he said that he would descend into hell for 3 days, and he would break the gates of brass and the kingdoms of iron. He would break them. And
That
so
was in Daniel?
to me, hell is it's actually what all the space people like NASA and everything is. That it's actually where they are inclined to want to go. It's in the firmament.
Sinking into Sheol.
It's in the firmament, and there is a place. I could show you a lot of scriptures that actually, we already read one, the vision of St. Paul. He looked back upon the firmament and saw in the same place oblivion, which deceives and draws down to itself the hearts of men.
Yep.
Well,
Even
like,
NASA
planets.
says that they look at the. You got a video about that? They look at the stars, and the stars are enticing us to come up and explore.
to come up and live there. That's what NASA even says, live there.
Isn't that what Satan wants to do?
It's exactly what Lucifer says in his heart, that he will ascend into heaven and exalt his space station his throne above the stars of God. Like these
Sometimes you want to read it like that, huh? You just want to say it the way you see it.
yeah, that's
And
yeah,
people are like,
and
"Oh,
I
you're
do it as
changing
a
the word
joke.
of God."
I
know.
do it as a joke because you guys all know that I'm joking. But so it's doing the thing again. Maybe I should try and adjust it. Maybe I should try turning mine on. But actually, we already tried that, didn't we?
I'm gonna go turn it back off right now. Let's see what that.
Let's see. Yeah, it fixed it. So it must like reset. Like, yeah,
It
I
probably
have
does.
no idea why it would do that. Oh,
You just let me know
let's
when
see
it
here.
does it, and I'll switch it over.
Here's Saturn. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this because this is exactly what we're talking about when we're talking about those 7 stars. This is one of them specifically.
Taking different shape, different form.
There, that's my shot there. That's not
That's a pretty
too
good
bad.
shot. Yeah.
It's a video too. If it was an image, I could make it out. I could stack and do
I remember, Joe.
garbage to it.
I remember
Okay.
like a year before the flat Earth, when they did the Saturn flyby and they seen the rings of it. I remember I set my alarm.
Oh, it was
to get
so
up.
weird looking.
I set my alarm to get up to watch it,
Oh,
and
really?
I get up and watch it. I'm like, I looked at Alicia. I was like, "Is that really the rings?" I said, "It looks like a record player, like a record." She's
You know
like, "Well,
what's
that's what they're showing us." And I was like, "That looks weird."
Looks like an
the
eyeball.
The next year, I was a flat earther.
Nice.
That's funny. That's funny.
It looks like a pig's nose.
Kinda
or
like God was-
or an eyeball.
kind of like God was telling me then, because I remember the Mars. Remember I told you I was studying Mars,
Yeah, you're
and
into all that stuff.
I seen images of Greenland. This is before the flat Earth. Before flat Earth came to me, it's like 2013, 2014,
Okay.
and I seen pictures of Greenland, and they put it beside pictures of Mars. And I was like, that's the same picture.
So here's a
I was
same
like,
thing
no,
on a
no way.
different telescope.
They're
That's
so
really
NASA's so
really
deceived.
really fuzzy. But yeah, so there's a here's the deal about biblical creation, guys. Because we or you could call it whatever you want. True
Mm-hmm.
Earth, flat Earth, not a globe, whatever you want to call it. Don't know
Biblical
the shape,
cosmology.
but it's not a globe. Okay, all the people that can see that.
Yeah.
Um we would all agree that we've been living our lives with truth concerning the place we live. We look at it in a different way. Like we don't pretend we know how far the sun is away or how all these things because we don't know.
Right.
And we were taught that we did know. And we were taught a bunch of lies that we did know. And so when like looking at it from where we're at now, what if I was to say, and this is kind of the way I feel like how it is, what if I was to say that in the same way or the same extent that you were deceived, the first part of your life, and then now you see clearly that that isn't true. It's the same when we're talking about the sky. And a lot of people would say, no, well, yeah, space is fake. But it's more than that. It's more than
For
that.
sure. Yeah.
There is a place, it's actually in the Bible, it's a secret place. That's what it's called. It's a secret place.
Psalms 18:11.
Yep. And it is where this how does it put it there? He bowed the heavens and came down, and darkness was under his feet, right? Is that what it says?
Yep.
So think about that.
And what did they say in Ezekiel and all that? It says that they would be trodden under God's feet, that they would make it a highway and a threshing floor.
Or that might be, yeah.
I
that
mean,
might be in Enoch. That's in the
yeah, it's in Enoch too, but it says that they trodden it under his feet, and I'm like, if God's in the darkness, then that means, or above
that's
the darkness, however.
That's what he said. He said in Psalm 18, he said, he made darkness his secret place.
Yeah.
And what did it say? His pavilion round about him were dark waters
Thick clouds
of the sky. So we were taught space, okay? And a lot of us are like, yeah, whatever, space, okay. But there is something to understand about the reason why men want to go to Mars, or why men want to go to the moon, or why they spend $400 billion a year in the aerospace industry.
Mm.
Well, I'm just saying that this is a huge thing in our world, and it's
Terrible.
only getting bigger. Yeah. And so we look at the Tower of Babel, and that was nothing compared to what the space program claims to be, right? I'm saying build a taller tower. Like Dragon, the SpaceX Dragon is way taller than the Tower of Babel, right? But is it? What does it say what about Lucifer? He's going to ascend into heaven, right? No.
Yep.
He's going to be
goes to the pit.
Yeah, he's going to be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And I don't think that's by his will. I think it's because he's there. Like I don't know how it works, but I know he's trying to bring people there.
Remember we were talking about the stars and it looking like like a hurricane if you look straight out?
Yeah.
The star rotation.
I got a video. I made a video about it.
Yeah, if you could play that, I just wanted to explain something, how I see it. Like, when it says Lucifer's going to go to the sides of the pit, when I look at those stars like that, it looks like it's it's not above me. It's more to the sides, like going out to outer darkness, out to the earth, to the ends of the earth.
This is what it would look like from the equator, if you were looking north or south. Really, you see about like this. The Polaris would be about at the horizon. Is that what you're talking about though? Like that?
Yeah, because look at the stars, how they're going. They're going
Yeah, I'll
up
just
and down.
press play.
They're going up and down.
Yeah.
They're not going.
Yep.
They're not going
They're
like
like
above
going
your
around
head.
us.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is if we know that, like, if we were to go to Polaris or to point to Polaris, that it's up. It might not. It might be over and up. For me, it's about half and half. It's 45 degrees from where I'm at, and that's what it looks like from my backyard.
And the
So-
sides of the north.
Yep. And so if I turn around, it actually doesn't look like this because these outer ones, the courses on the like that are closer to me, they'll be like a straight line above my head, and then as I turn around and look the opposite way, they don't make it back to this tubular looking thing until you go like to 45 degrees, like down in, I don't know where that would be, somewhere way down south. Like
Yeah, I
way
don't know
down
none of
south.
that.
But so basically, there's one of these on each end of the world, on the north end and the south end.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the other thing is that all the stars go one direction. They all move the fixed stars. I'm not talking about the planets, but
In Enoch 2, Joe, it says the sun goes under the earth. I
in
think
Enoch chapter 2.
No. In Enoch 2, the second book of Enoch.
The second book. I haven't read all that, or I might have read it before, but
I think somewhere in there it says the sun goes under the earth and it like recharges or something like that. It
I
sets
think
and
that
it.
somewhere it says it's actually in the first book of Enoch though. It says that it gives the how many days that it comes out of which gate,
Mhm.
and I think it has to go around to the north in order to show up in the east. Like it has to. I think it's a circuit, but I don't.
Is
I
that
think
where
it's
the,
all in the sky?
Isn't where those beasts were going, coming from the east to the west to the south?
Yeah,
Almost sounds like the same direction the sun's going and stuff.
yeah, east to west. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're not going up. People think they're going. Look, the rocket's going down into the water. No, it's going the same path of the sun. It's going up to where there's no air, and then it's going sideways.
And it's trying to go. It's trying to go sideways. It's not even trying to go up.
No,
They
if
only
they
go
do
up
go
to
up,
get off the ground. Really,
if
only
they
get
do
up-
go,
Yeah.
if
go
they
ahead.
if they do go too vertical, watch the ones that blew up, like the space shuttle and stuff. Watch them videos.
Yeah.
If they do go too vertical and not horizontal, they end up hitting them winds like a truck hitting a wall, and they just explode.
Every rocket, it's kind of like every rocket that's trying to get into orbit is going to, it's going to fly over. Like once it's going where the direction it wants to go, it's
Right.
going to stay the same height off the ground. So it's literally exactly sideways. But it wants to be up where the atmosphere is thin or even almost no atmosphere or whatever.
Mhm.
And a lot of people think they have to go up in a rocket, like it should go up, but it actually should go completely away from you. Like
Horizontal.
They have to launch it up in order to get going sideways.
What did Elon Musk said? He said you could launch a rocket into orbit right off the ground.
Yeah, if the
You
air
could-
wasn't
you-
so thick.
Yep. If the air wasn't so thick, you could launch into orbit or go to darkness, whatever. If right off the feet,
Yeah.
couple feet off the ground.
Yep.
It's
Or you
crazy.
could get like if you could reach the orbital velocity, right? That's I think what yeah. Yes.
But that, like you said, the air's too thick.
Here's another one.
They
of
gotta
Saturn.
go. They gotta go high enough.
Yeah.
None of it's good. It's climbing up another way. John 10:1. Amos
So-
Amos Amos 9:2.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're right. John 10:1. he's talking about them trying to climb into the sheepfold,
Yeah.
climb up some other way.
They're entering. What do you say? They enter into the house of the thief, and him that
and
sweareth
him-
falsely by my name.
You just made me think of it when we were talking about his secret place, the darkness.
Yeah.
He made it his secret place. Well, think about it. I think there's secrets being revealed about that place,
Mm-hmm.
like in the book of Enoch and in the book of Jude.
Everywhere.
There is like darkness is a specific thing. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? It's darkness
We got
and it's night. but-
millions of people talking about the firmament.
I know. I love it. When I
know.
make TikTok videos, some of them, when I do the hashtag firmament, I think they get way more views.
There you go.
There's a whole army of people that like if you say anything about the firmament, they think that they automatically know what you believe or something, and they're like that's just the atmosphere or whatever. Or, that's the clouds.
You sound like my mother-in-law now.
They just want to be they just want to be the
how she
opposite
gets.
of a flat earther.
That's how she gets. I swear, just like you said right there. She's like, the firmament doesn't mean that. The firmament means the ozone layers. We all know that. I'm like, okay. Believe what you want. I'm not here to fight with you. Been trying to show her for like 5 years, man. She's just hard-headed. She is. I love her, but she's hard-headed.
Hey, you know what? That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
I've sat on the
That's why
phone
we're
with her, Joe. I remember one time I was in Tennessee getting unloaded. I sat on the phone for 2 hours talking to her about this stuff. And she just, everything I'd say, she'd just fight back with it. I was like, okay, I can't go no further. It's like, have a good night. I love you.
But we were just reading it in the book of John. He will reprove the world, like give him time. That's all.
For
I say.
sure.
It's not a. It's if you
It's
say
not up to us.
everything
Yeah.
that you know or that you believe is that you're called to say, then just keep doing that and
Yep.
do it. Like be consistent and like I do have to think. Like there's one fact about flat Earth or whatever you want to call it that nobody can like, you know how they say in Revelation, oh, nobody can compare with the beast or whatever. Well, nobody can compare with flat Earth in this way. Yesterday, or how does it work? Okay, how many flat earthers are there in the world? More than
Right.
yesterday. And how many
Right.
globe believers are there in the world? Less than
Less.
yesterday. And it doesn't go the other way around.
No, once you go flat, you never go back.
So who can play that card? Like that's a powerful thing. We're not talking about like 7 people. We're talking about thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. So if that has any influence on anyone, I'm just saying many of us are experiencing it and willing to explain what happened to us in our own words anyway, how we a testimony, that's what it's called.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
in your face, Satan, taking your dominion away.
Yep.
Sure.
Because we're learning how he has his system set up.
Yep.
And
trickery.
on your screen, this little luminary there, it looks like that because it's an angel, and it can take it can make itself look like that, and it only does it for one reason.
That's your
To
Ephesians. That's your
trick
Ephesians 6:12
mankind.
right there.
Oh, it is spiritual wickedness in high places in the heavenly realm. These
In
guys,
the heavenly
right here.
realm. Yep.
Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, all these luminaries these are the ones that don't twinkle. All the stars like twinkle. You guys have seen the stars, right?
And they look totally different than those
Yeah.
right there.
Totally
Yeah.
different. They're like
Totally
super bright, colorful lights. These
Yep.
things are trying to look like land masses or something.
Mm.
They're trying to fool mankind. That's their job. They since God bound them in this darkness, they figure that they can trick and with the help of Satan and those 200 fallen angels.
Yep.
I'm just saying they have a whole army of
And
their
they-
own.
And then they build the devices of Satan, and then they go among the stars, and then they destroy the earth.
and they teach men how to make alloys and things like that, like
Yep.
SpaceX making
Build rockets.
3D printing a lot of their rocket parts and stuff. You
Crazy.
can do things that you can't do without 3D printing
Right.
them.
Fast.
And they
Fast.
learn that how to use all these metals and how to, you know, forge them up or whatever. They learn that not as because we would all think, oh well, that's good though to have knowledge about how to build things. You know, I like welding and making things with steel. It's awesome because it's like so strong and that's
Right.
awesome. But at the same time that I say that, is that actually taught to us by the fallen angels? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Doing that with metal, welding, is not something God taught men or even planned on teaching men. But that's what's amazing to me. We were talking about the grace of God. Do you think that like working of metal or wearing makeup, how's that? Putting the eyeliner on and blushing the cheeks or whatever he said in Enoch, that was taught to women by the
Right.
fallen angels. Is that a good thing? Probably not. But is it like horrible if you put makeup on? No. You know
No.
why? It's too late at this point. We're learning
right.
of it. We're learning of it. And so it's like if I weld something,
God's-
it's not to blaspheme God and send rockets at his
No.
tabernacle. If you wear makeup, you're not doing it like if you'll do it for whatever reason you want to, but you know what I'm saying is like the intention I think has a big role to play for people that are finding out that everything is evil, like everything we do almost. But that's actually we did read about that right here in Isaiah 43. We wearied him, we made him weary. It says, "But thou hast been weary, O Israel. Thou has okay. We didn't bring him any offerings, and he's not caused us to serve with an offering or incense. We offered him nothing, nothing. But thou hast made me to serve with thy sins, and thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities." Because he's been with us the whole time.
What's the iniquities in the
That's
last
like-
days?
Sorcery, right?
You know what it is. Been saying it for 7 years.
I know.
Mm.
Climbing into heaven, or I don't know.
There you go.
specifically.
There you go.
It's
I mean, it's sorcery.
What the devil does.
It's sorcery. It's building devices to go against God in heaven, war in heaven. All
Therefore,
that-
I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary and given Jacob to the curse.
Mm.
We can read about the curse.
Yeah. I
Guess
wonder
what
if
else,
that's the
guys? Guess what else? The curse. Guess what that does? It's a flying roll, so it flies, and it goes over the face of the whole Earth,
Mm.
kind of like low Earth orbit.
I wonder if that's the face of the deep.
Well, the darkness is the face of the deep, right?
There you go.
And that's
God's
where they
spirit
go.
moved over the
That's-
face of the waters.
So that's where Mars is. That's where. So if you look at the sky, there's this dark place. We call it space, or whatever. It's where all the stars are, and the sun is there, the moon is there, and now a bunch of junk that floats around up there is there. But it's not part of this world. It's a part of the world above our world, or it's actually a part of the world between our two heaven and earth. There is a place at the end of heaven and earth, and that happens to be a prison for stars and the host of heaven. It's a waste and horrible place, and NASA thinks it's just great that they can send people there, or they think are people. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
They're,
losing it.
They're defiling God's sanctuary. Let me read this on Ezekiel 28, verse 18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities. There's that iniquity again.
Yep.
By the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring... yeah, right, making it a threshing floor and a highway. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, it shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more.
That
That
sounds
sounds
like
pretty bad.
Babylon.
It's the king of Tyre.
Okay.
God's judgment of the prince of Tyrus. Tyra. That's what it says in the. These are the judgments. The next one's the judgment of Sidon. I don't think that's Zion. That's something else.
All right, we're zooming in on Jupiter here.
It's different names, like the waters
Jupiter's
above,
is,
man.
these are all false names of false gods too. The planets are, by the way.
That's it. Pretty much
Jupiter
everything
is like a false god, or what is it? A Greek deity or something?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's so
You know
wobbly.
where those came from? Those names?
I don't know specifically.
Studying the stars. This is what they would do. Check this out. So back in before, well, I don't know, maybe the time of the Romans or before that, probably before that, because that's where they got the names from. These guys would stargaze, and they would predict like star alignments and eclipses, and they would predict them like NASA does. And then
yeah.
they would go to these villages, and they would say, "Yeah, next Tuesday you're going to have a full eclipse," and people were like, "Yeah, right, whatever."
And they
And
thought
then
they were
they're-
gods.
And they thought they were gods. Yep. That's where those names come from.
See, you can see the little spot on Jupiter. This is what Jupiter actually looks like. I mean, I'm a focused as good as I can get focused. The
Right.
reason why it looks like this, and sometimes you're used to seeing it with like crisp lines, and you can see the storm and all this stuff.
CGI.
That's when you take and stack 1,000 images on top of each other. And you're taking all the best, most crisp part of the image, and
Yeah.
so it's your eyes never see that. This is what your eyes see through the
It's an
telescope.
artist trans what do they call that? Artist
Rendition.
rendition, yeah. They have to add things
This is
to
what
it
it looks
to make
like
it.
in real time. And sorry, it's so wobbly. That's just, I'm looking through my telescope that does not track it. So
And it's
but
like
yeah.
20 degrees outside, and Joe's freezing.
yeah, probably, probably. So right
Joe's
before we
like-
went live, I was over at my dad's, and I was just raking up some of the leaves that were underneath the snow from last year,
Right.
And yeah, there's still ice underneath the leaves.
How cold is it up there right now?
I think it's got to be like 35, 40. But it's tomorrow. It's supposed to be like 57 tomorrow or something.
I was in Iowa, yeah, and I was in Iowa 2 days ago. I left Iowa to come to North Carolina, and it was in the 40s, 50s, or low 50s. It wasn't too bad.
We had like 87 degrees already once, like for a couple days or something.
Yeah, there was a little heat wave.
week ago. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
kinda,
remember that.
was nice. We lost a lot of the snow during that. Yeah, we still have snow on the north side of the shop that's like still over a foot tall. Just like in the
Like
in
as
the
far as I
shade.
go is probably go like 50 miles south of Green Bay. Yeah, that's about as far as we
Okay.
go.
Like
but it's all
that's
good,
like
man.
Milwaukee kind of area, like down.
Yeah,
by
we go
there.
past Milwaukee a little bit, just a little bit past
Okay.
Milwaukee. Yeah,
Man, that's only like 5 hours from my house.
yeah, that's
Milwaukee.
still a good ride though.
Yeah, it is. I think it's
5 hours.
almost,
Yeah,
It's like close to 400 miles. Or no, that's to Chicago,
that's like
I think.
that's probably like 300 miles to something.
Yeah, 3. It's got to be at least 3, I think. Or
I
maybe
mean,
it's
of course,
like right around 3. Or am
Of
I thinking
course
of hours? Maybe I think it's 5 hours. I don't know. I can't even remember now.
of course, I've watched your live videos, and yeah, you drive pretty fast. You're always in that left lane.
Oh, I drive really fast.
You do. I can tell.
Well, I drive like I don't. I'll go the speed limit if I'm alone.
I remember Joe's like, "This semi's passing me, and I'm doing 80. What the?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's
Hey,
me."
that happens.
I remember you made a video. You were live, and you were like, "What's this semi doing, passing me?" He's
I
got to be
don't
doing
even
over
remember
80.
it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I always end up driving. My friend Ron has a farm down. It's like usually it's about an hour to get to his house, but end up driving down there a lot, so it's like I'm used to the drive and everything. But yeah, you run into some crazy stuff on the freeway.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, you know better than I do, I'm
For
sure.
all the four-wheelers out there, I want to tell y'all two things. When you come on the interstate, judge your speed. Be looking. Judge
Yeah.
your speed. Either get out and go in front of the semi or fall behind. And another thing,
You gotta choose though, right?
you got to
One or the
choose.
other.
Don't hesitate. Don't go to the
You're
end
like,
of the
I'll
ramp and
just
just
wait for
stop.
the semi to slow down or speed up, right?
I swear. And then one more thing is, is if we're in the right lane or it's 3-lane highway and the semi's in the right lane doing whatever speed limit, don't fly up by the semi and cut them off to get off the exit when there's like nobody behind us.
Yeah,
I
and then
can't stand that.
when they're in the right lane and someone is entering the freeway and they need to move in the left lane, like you got to make sure that they got room when you're coming up by an entrance. You got to make sure that especially if he's got his signal on, you just best get out of the way. And then
Or just slow down a little bit. Just tap your brake a little bit. That's all
but
you
then
gotta
when
do.
he's in front of you, like the other person that entered the freeway will get out of his way or whatever. Give him about 5 seconds to get
Let
back
him
in
get
the
back
right
over.
lane. Don't try to gouge him on the right side or he gets stuck in the fast lane then.
Yeah.
Like I see
Joe
that happen
knows.
all the time, and I'm like blocking both lanes, and then he
Thanks,
can go
Joe.
over.
Thanks, Joe. We appreciate that.
I'll give you I'll flash you the high beams next time.
Look at that. He knows. Joe knows. You get every
Well, people
once
would
in a
always
while.
do it to me, like what I'd be pulling my trailer and it's like
Right.
it looks heavy, but it's not heavy. It's super light, and
Yeah.
so I'd be going. I'll just like, all right, I'll stay in the fast lane, and I just go faster than them then. But
Yeah, a lot
you
of
gotta have
these
the
trucks.
you gotta have the diesel.
Well,
that
what people don't
works.
understand is about company semis. We can only go so fast. They're governed. So it's like
Yeah,
you said, they get stuck in that fast lane. We're stuck. We can't go no faster.
yeah, and if car after car is just like peeking out, like you can just it's like you can make a cartoon of it in your mind. They're like peeking out, and you're like, don't you do it, and they're like, pew, pew.
Oh man, you know
You
I
put your
always
right
sing.
signal on, pew.
I always sing that song. I'm in a hurry to get things done. You ever heard
Yeah.
that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that song rings through
You
my
just
head all
look
the
at
time.
all. You just look at all the drivers.
I
You're
just
like,
shake my head, man. I just
slow
shake
down.
when they do something stupid. I literally just make a point so they can see me shaking my head. Like, what are y'all? I don't understand this.
I always try to like if I'm on a freeway with semis, I don't like to be near them. Like I don't.
There you go.
I'll never ride next to one or
Right.
like that. I'll like if my cruise is set and it's set like 2 miles an hour faster than him, I'm still gonna not use the cruise to pass him. I'm gonna like get up towards him, and then I'm gonna kind of like go by him at like pretty not fast, but like get right by him, and then I'll let the cruise take over again.
There you go.
Because I think that's nerve wracking for you guys because of how many different kinds of drivers there are out there. Plus, you can't
I mean,
see everything as well.
For the better part, people are all right. It just you get that one that's in a hurry, one or two that's in a hurry, and they're just acting like
See a lot of
idiots.
dash cam videos. Lots
for
of dash
sure.
cam videos.
Yeah,
And the truck's just like, what are you doing? I can't do nothing about that now.
that's it. That's it.
How much
Stuck.
your truck weigh when you're loaded up good?
I mean, if I'm loaded, if they put like 45 on the load or 44, I'm like 79, 78, almost 80.
Yeah, so you got
Oh.
80,000 pounds.
Yeah, 80's
like
the limit.
moving, and it's got that momentum. A car just doesn't stop that.
No,
I mean, eventually, I guess, but
trucks can stop pretty quick. I ain't gonna lie, they
Yeah.
can.
oh yeah,
They're not bad. They're way better than they used to be. Way better. And then
Oh,
you
I'm
got
sure.
the engine. You got the engine brake, which
Yep.
that really helps. But
And you
It's
got a
hard to
nice truck.
judge.
You guys,
It-
Thomas has a nice truck. It's
it
a
ain't mine. I
sweet
wish it
truck.
was.
Well, it's yours when you're driving it. You know,
If it
well,
was,
it's theirs, but you know what I mean.
I hear you. Yeah,
It's
Got the
it's like
authority of it.
it's your hotel when you're on the road.
that's it.
And you guys, it's like a hotel. And no, I'm just kidding.
It's
You
not
got the
bad.
big cab and everything, though.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's not bad. I'm kind of bunkered down today. I had the curtain closed. I was in the back. and then it started getting hot, and I was like, I better open the curtain and put the curtains around the windshield because the air doesn't blow through. It was getting kind of hot.
Hey, look at this.
What you got?
Isabella Live 2.0. How can I like this? How can let me I can't read it cuz sorry, I can't read it. I got to stop the cam.
I can see
How
it.
can Christ come without truth coming with him into the mind of every man? Isn't that awesome? That's a awesome question. Like how and I know you're not asking the question. It's almost like a statement.
Isabella Live's been around for a while with you.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yep.
yeah. I'm subscribed to his channel too.
Yeah. I've seen the name all the time, I remember.
He's got a couple different channels, I think. But
Does
I
he?
think, yeah. So yeah, that's true though. How can Christ come without truth coming with him? And that's actually what who said it, that grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. Who said that?
Was that John?
Yeah, maybe it was just in the Gospel of John.
It was in the Gospel of John. I don't know who said it,
Okay.
but yeah. I was watching I took a nap earlier and I was watching that what is that? No Greater Love channel. I should send you the video later. And
Yeah, send me.
he
I
was,
don't know if I know about that channel.
he was talking about the Torah, what it means.
Yeah,
It's
I'll check it out.
it says it's straight.
Really?
Like the word
You mean
the
like the
word
word?
Torah, if you break it down, yeah, the meaning of it means straight.
That's probably why John the Baptist was saying like
Make straight.
yeah, make straight in the desert a highway for our God.
It's
I think
crazy.
that's what he said.
Yeah. Prepare the way for the Lord. Prepare you
Yep.
the way of the Lord. He's
So
he's
go
here
ahead.
in a way. He's here in a he's come to
flying
earth
with the
in a
clouds
way.
of heaven, and
There
he's
you go.
uttering his voice, and
Yep.
and those, when you can hear his voice, that's the most important thing.
I
Actually,
keep
that was
telling
in Revelation. Go ahead.
people, man, I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The sky
I'm
departed.
really in. Yep.
I know.
There's not much time left, folks. There's really not.
They're Dragon. They're sending that Falcon 9 and Dragon into the sky like at least once a week.
It says in Daniel
And
9.
this did not happen 5 years ago. I'm just saying this was not this way 5 years ago. How often was there a rocket launch? Once a month, like in the whole world?
Man, when
No,
a
there was
space
a little more
shuttle,
than that.
to think about it, when the space shuttle
Yeah, the
used to
space
launch,
shuttle, they used to launch
It-
quite a bit.
well, it might have been once a month, maybe. It was like every other month.
Yeah, maybe
Definitely wasn't like it is
maybe
today.
even up to 3 months. Yeah, they send.
They would
so
launch
much
like
stuff
6
up
a
there.
year. They would launch like 6 a
Yeah.
year, maybe 7 a year.
Yeah, because it was like total amount was like 135 missions, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, 'cause they had to bring it. They'd get it back down, and they would have to check everything and get it back
And
together.
basically,
And
yeah, and that would take like a couple months. And then they
It's-
still never did it, right?
oh, I've watched
Like
some
they
of
nearly
the.
killed all their astronauts, right?
Yeah, I've watched some of the. There's a show on used to be on TV. It's on YouTube.
I think
it's,
you sent me the link. It was one of the
like astronaut stories.
astronauts. Yeah, and he was telling about he was one of the last, second to the last or something shuttles.
Yeah,
And he that was, I think it was the same guy that they told him to re-enter or whatever with that wing all messed up.
yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, they barely made it back in, like whatever. All of that I think is like there's some kind of deception going on with all of that. Anything
sure.
involving the astronauts.
For sure. Yeah.
And if people
The
don't
beast-
know if people don't know why, there's several reasons why I think the astronauts are unclean spirits. Like Revelation 16, John saw 3 unclean spirits coming out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast. Like the dragon, think about it. And they were like frogs. And I just think of the people like floating into the space station from the dragon capsule. It's just like, that's just very well could be exactly what John is saying. And he's letting us know that they are not people. Um, in Enoch 17, he says, "And they took me and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire, and when they wished, they appeared as men. And they brought me to the place of darkness and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven." So there's a place of darkness. It's like on the outside of the sky. I don't even know how to describe it. It's an outer place. It's like it's the sides of the pit. That's what I would call it too.
There you
And
go.
I think that's why they have, think about it. The sky's rotating. All the stars are continuously circling in the sky, the fixed stars. And they want to go where those stars are. So why would they not have to go super fast? They have to basically go to a place that's turning. They have to catch up with the turning, don't they? So they got to go sideways because that's the direction it's turning. Is you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it just seems like they want to go into the firmament, but they're going into where I think they're going to a place where I think that paradise is there, and then there's a great gulf or whatever, and then on the other side there's Sheol or whatever, hell or whatever word gets used, and it's a bottomless pit. It's exactly what NASA and SpaceX and all those space companies say that it is. It's a place where everything's falling. It's called the solar system.
Yeah.
So I
This
think
is,
the solar system is a trick, and it's filled with evil
For
spirits.
sure.
That's a
Yeah. Babylon the Great. This is
that great
Daniel.
city. Yeah.
Daniel 9 right here, verse 2. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years. He was reading Jeremiah,
Yeah,
Where
he
of the-
understood the prophecy.
whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you
70
look back,
years.
if we just say those are anything they put up there, you got to go back to
Sputnik.
Sputnik. Yep.
Should I look it up?
No.
Should I look it up
Nope.
and see what?
Look
all
up what
that-
the
or
word
do you know?
Sputnik. Look up what the word Sputnik means. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy. It's like
Is it SPUTKNIC, or how would you spell it? I wonder.
I can Google it, sir. I don't know.
SPUTNIK. I got it
Yeah,
here.
something
I guess.
like that. Yeah, I can't spell worth a crap. Come on, Joe. I drive a truck. What did that sign just say? Did that say?
Encyclopedia?
Did that speed limit sign say 65 or 85? I can't remember.
Better play it safe and go 85. That's how I roll.
Oh, I know.
So I didn't look up the word, word means, but let's see. Sputnik
It's a-
crisis. It's
it's
the
a
first artificial satellite,
Yeah.
and it was on October 4th, 1957.
57. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna copy that, and then I'm gonna go to Google, and I'm gonna.
I'm
add
telling you,
70
I was
years,
listening.
Right.
I was listening to this book going down the road, and I was in that chapter right there. And when I heard that 70 years, and I was like, wow.
Hey,
that-
other people
that
have typed that, dude. Other
just
people have
makes me
typed
think.
that in. When
Yeah.
I typed in October 1957 plus, and it says plus 30 years, plus 10 years, plus 180 days. And when I put the 7, it says 75 years, 70 years, 75 days, 72 months, 78 years. So I
Now, you gotta
just
remember-
picked 70 years.
I'm not trying to pick a date or anything, but you do got to remember that the time sped up because he says that lest the days be made shortened, no flesh should
Oh,
be
yeah.
saved. So the whole 31 day
If
thing,
you-
I don't think we've supposed to be on 31 day calendar. I think it's supposed to be the phases of the moon, and they were supposed to stay that way. That's God's calendar. I
Okay,
think
so
they
this
did.
is just weird. I got to show it to you. Oops. We should be clicking over to.
But the word Sputnik means,
Oops.
if you break it down, it means stranger or foreigner.
Okay, look at this. This is just weird, by the way. So right here, I just looked up that date for Sputnik plus 70 years, right? And Social Security Administration. Look what it says here. It's just weird. I don't think it means anything, but it's just weird. If you were born in 1957, your full retirement age is 66 and 6 months. What the heck? I have no idea what that
666.
even means. Determining.
That's funny.
Oh, let's see.
That's the mark of the beast right there.
They got to have a website that I could do that with, because it's not understand. Oh, date calculators maybe, or yeah, I don't know. Whatever. So what is that? 70 years, 57 would be 27.
I took some time off of it though because of the like I said,
Yeah,
the whole.
be shortened, or no one would be surviving.
Well,
or no one would survive.
what I'm saying is they changed this. They changed it to the sun, the calendar. God originally told the months and years by the moon.
Oh
Like you
yeah,
would go through
I think you're
you would
right.
go through the phases of the moon. It'd be 28 days, and then it'd be a new month. They changed it. They made time longer. They made the year longer, so it'd
Okay,
really be shorter.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, so I
I really
forgot
think
one.
it was Enoch's years 365. Wasn't that the years that he
364, I think.
364? Whatever Enoch was, I think that was supposed to be the years.
And
of
that is
the,
actually that's what it should be, because if you went 28 days a month and you had 13 months, you'd have 364 days.
I think
And then
that's what it's
every
supposed to be.
single month, the first week of the month would be all the same days. The second week would be all the same days every month. It'd be so clean.
I don't think
Wouldn't it?
Starship's gonna go. I don't think Starship's gonna go too long, man. I really don't.
I don't
I
either.
really don't. I think
And it
think
does-
within
like-
a year.
And here's the thing, though. Think about this too. I don't know how any of this like kind of ends or whatever, but if you think about what, like from this angle, okay, if we were to watch just video after video of landing rockets, like
Right.
like from spectators, okay,
Mhm.
it looks like there's a star falling out of the sky.
He ain't lying.
So what I'm saying is, when Daniel saw this he-goat and this thing fighting, going all the way up to the stars and casting some of them to the ground and stamping on them, is that maybe what I'm just saying that could be something that we're already well on our way through all that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like the stars falling. It could mean
I've seen
something
it.
different. It could mean something different than we're thinking, but at the same time, it seems to be a literal thing because of how many times it's in scripture that the stars will fall from the sky like figs from a fig tree or whatever.
The other day, the sun was like super bright, man. It was like I could barely see, glasses on, everything. I was like, hold my hand up, and I remember that Enoch verse where it says that the sun will be sevenfold. It'll be like 7 times brighter.
Brighter, yeah.
It's like there's so many things, man. So many things that were written to happen that most of them have already came true. I'm like, any day now, for real. Like, I really thought 22, man. I thought 22, Hebrew numbers end on 22, Revelation ends on 22. I was like, 22 is going to be the year, and it didn't happen. I was like, I don't know. I don't know a date or not. I was, for like 6 months, I was really trying to figure it out hard, but I gave up on it. I was like, nah, I'm not going to figure none of that out. It's not, I mean, remember what Jesus said, no man knows the time or day. But
Yeah.
you do know the season. We're definitely in the season, for sure.
And
We're
we know
definitely living in the
we
last
know
days.
things that ended up happening, you know?
Yep.
Like in the what the prophets saw, they saw certain things happening, and it's like when we see those things happening, we know something's going on.
I told you
So
about my
this-
dream, didn't I? The fire?
The one recently, maybe. I don't know if you did.
No, this is like 5 years ago. I had a dream. Me and Alicia and the kids we went to eat with someone at their house, and they were dropping us back off, and it was just turning dark. And we had this white house, 2 stories, an old house, and there was a barn off to the side, but it was open, and there was nothing in it. It was just a concrete slab inside the barn. The light was on. Remember that? And I went around the side. She went inside to turn the lights on in the house, and I went around the side of the house. I looked up, and the moon was like blood red, like red, and it was crumbling. And I yelled at her. I was like, "Hey, come look at the moon. It's falling apart." And by the time she come around there was just like a wall of fire from top to bottom, left to right. It was just, and it was coming. And I looked over in that barn, and there was a little baby. Like, only thing it had on was a diaper, and it was sitting Indian style in that barn. And I ran, and I jumped and hovered over that baby, and then I woke up. I was like,
Whoa.
what was that?
So like the whole where the moon was, it like started. There was like a wall of fire there, kind of coming at you.
No, like the whole horizon,
Oh boy.
like the whole sky was just a wall of fire, and it was like, you ever seen rain coming at you? Like
yeah, like when you see it far away and it's coming towards you.
yeah, like that. It was crazy. I was like, I still can't figure to this day, why was there a baby there? What was that baby? It's just a little baby. It was like 2 months old, 3 months. It was like a just infant, had diaper on. I was like, why did I run and cover that baby up? Like,
I
the
don't know,
light
dreams
caught
are weird though. Dreams are
the
weird.
light
Someday,
caught me. The light caught me in the barn because I was like, why is that light on? Who left that light on out there? Like, you're trying to save electricity. I've always been like that.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
who left the light on out there? And I looked out there, I seen the
And then you
baby. I
seen
was
the
like,
baby.
what's that baby doing? It was crazy,
It
man.
makes you think.
Yeah, it does. Like, because I always pray. I said, Joe, I do this all the time. Like, show me it all. Like, give me a dream. Show me it. Put all this together for me. I always pray for that. Never had one like that, but
Yeah,
I'm like, I wonder, it's like, did he already show me in a way, like different dreams? If I put them together, so that's crazy. I've had like about 4 crazy dreams that I remember like the one you had. I remember
I had
every
one.
detail.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had one dream that was just wild.
you went there, man,
Wild.
for real.
Yeah.
Ezekiel went there.
You know what was weird is I was doing drywall there, and then I read where Jesus says he's preparing a place, and I'm like,
That's
yeah,
crazy,
he is.
ain't it?
Yeah, he is.
Joe was
And think
up
of,
there
dude,
at Menards.
it took him 6 days to create this world. Think of what he does in 2,000 years.
Mm.
Like what
Well,
he
that's
makes.
what. Let me talk
I'm
about
just
that
saying,
then.
yeah.
Let me talk about that then, because the sanctuary is going to be destroyed. So I'm not saying he hasn't.
It'll be cleansed though.
It's going to be burnt with fervent heat,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then he's going to
I think
rebuild the
that's it. All
city.
the elements are burnt with fervent heat, right?
That's the third temple. That's the
That's like
third.
that's
To me,
like physical things, right? You're saying?
no, I mean like heaven and earth shall pass away,
Oh,
destroyed.
yeah, and I don't
And then-
understand that, but
Then he's going to build the third temple. It's going to happen fast. I really do. I think so. Well, we are the.
you mean like the one with all the pearls for gates, and then it has like
Yep.
all the precious stones and
Yep.
for the foundations.
I think
and
it's
stuff.
already, Joe. I think it's already prepared.
Oh,
it's just
okay, I
gotta
see what
be-
you're saying.
It's
And we
got to
just
be.
can't
It's
see
got
it
to be. Yeah,
because there's darkness in the way.
it's in the spirit. Yep. hmm I think we are seeing it.
I agree.
I think we are seeing it. I really do.
Because
It's hard to put it
remember
in
when
words.
he said to them that overcome, I will make pillars in the temple.
That's
of
what
my
I was
God."
fixing
So
to say. That's what I was
so
fixing to
those-
say.
It's like made of people.
The people that make up the temple are being assembled right now.
I agree.
So what's that tell
I'm
you?
getting that echo again really bad.
Are you?
But I wanted to read. This was also in the second Baruch. He says it just got fixed. Did you just switch? Or are you muted? Okay. Or I can't see. Actually, I can't even see Thomas anymore.
There you go. I switched it.
Okay. Yeah, it fixed it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to make it do that.
Oh, you're
so
good, man.
this is
You're
in
good.
chapter 51, verse 8 in Second Baruch. It says, this is obviously a prophecy, and this is pretty amazing. For they shall behold, that means like to see, they shall behold the world which is now invisible to them, and they shall behold the time which is now hidden from them. Let me play this because I think it's appropriate. So I'm gonna read that verse again. For they shall behold the world which is now invisible to them, and they shall behold the time which is now hidden from them.
It's crazy.
Here we go.
You gonna
This
play a
is me.
video? I'm gonna mute it.
I, my whole life, have witnessed a horizontal horizon Only, I'm talking about reality, not pictures, not what's being fed to me. In reality, my whole life, horizontal horizon.
Let's be
But
honest. I'm sorry.
But I still believed I lived on a globe. My reality didn't change. My perception changed once.
Which changed your reality. Your reality. When you change your
Right.
perception,
But
your
what I
reality changed.
viewed didn't change. Because, like, when people say,
I did change.
The physical world
no,
didn't change, but
I'm
your
trying to explain
perception of
something
it.
here. Let me explain it for a second, okay? That horizon is flat, whether I thought I lived on a globe or not. That horizon didn't change shape. Only my perception of what it could be changed. This reality, like the physicality, never changed. You know,
I disagree.
again with the firmament, what I think to be true up there has changed just within the past couple of years. To me, it's probably nothing solid anymore. It's just the edge of this toroidal field that we possibly could be living in. But what I have been observing with my eyes, whether my perception, whether what I perceive it to be, hasn't changed. You know, so I'm not changing the physicality of my reality. I'm changing
Your theories
the
are changing.
perception, what I perceive it to be.
So yeah, it sounds like that verse. I mean, it sounds like the land that now was once hidden is being openly displayed. This is
Right.
I see this to be like another example of the prophets writing the truth, the prophets of God, the prophets that wrote the scriptures. They wrote the truth about what would happen. And I don't remember where I was reading it, but he knows that the end from the beginning. And that's how, like, it's already been declared or written or whatever, but that doesn't mean we don't have free will or something. I'm saying how this story goes, this kingdom that comes, at a certain point in time, the people that are alive, some of them will understand that the kingdom is coming, that it's actually coming. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
I couldn't have said it better. It's pretty good. That's
But
a good
yeah.
catch. That's a good catch right there on that video. How you caught that like that?
Yeah, he was talking to he said a lot more than that. That was just a clip that I caught when
I'll have to listen to it
I was quick scrolling back. Yeah, Melodome, you guys.
for sure. Yeah,
They
I seen you on there last weekend.
or like in the chat.
Yeah, we were on there together. Remember?
Oh yeah, I think I do
It was
remember. Yeah, because
Saturday.
you were like, yeah, you had to go to or you were going
Get my
home.
daughter.
Yeah, you were going
Yeah.
home or something. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think. Oh, by the way, I made a playlist. I think I told you this, but I didn't finish. I made a playlist, and I think I called it "Effed Up World" and Tommy Skyview or something like that. And it's the videos we've done recently together, and I'd like numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're on 5. So, but
Awesome.
they will be in a playlist just so we kind of can keep track a little bit.
I think of
some of
things.
it.
I think of things to talk about during the week. So I guess I need to start writing them down. That way
Yeah.
I'll remember.
Good idea. Do it. Write
Sure.
them down.
Yeah. Good
Well,
chat though, man.
It's it's always good talking to you, and like
Always.
I've said this to Tommy many times that if it wasn't for him, I think I might think I'm crazy. Sometimes. No,
We're all crazy.
it's interesting that you have that you see the same way, if that makes any sense.
I hear you. Yep. I
And-
question
and
that sometimes too.
And a lot of other people don't, and so it's like
Yeah.
it's good to have a chat with you, and because you've taught me a lot, just
For sure.
how to look at things. So, all
I
right,
want to
guys.
ask.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to ask everybody in the chat or that watched the video to pray for my other half, Alicia, that she make it out. She's in a little sticky situation.
All right.
If they will, I know prayer works for sure.
It
I do
does.
it all the time. Oh yeah.
We will do that.
Yep.
Yeah. So thanks you guys for hanging out, and thank you, Tommy, again, of
Yep.
course.
Keep
And, yeah.
seeking truth, sharing it.
We'll probably do the same thing next week. Maybe
Yes, sir.
who knows what time, but it'll probably be same day. So
Much love, everybody.
All right,
See you, Joe.
everyone, have a good one. Thanks. See you, Tommy.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.